Hello, everybody. This appears to be a stream. A Guild Wars 2 stream. A Visions of Eternity video game stream. I'm your host, WoodenPotatoes. And this is your character, Liz. And here we are, on the shipwrecked ruins. Oh, I can't say shipwrecked twice. I fucked up. On the sand-strewn ruins of the shipwrecked strand. There you go, lots of S's and T's and R's in there. Hello everyone, welcome. Today we are done! So that's it, goodbye. We finished the story. No. Okay, yeah, we're done with the story now. We've got a few more things to see. So, big topics... What just spoke to me? That was weird. Big topics that we've got are the meta event on the second map. In fact, I believe there's 2 metas on the second map. Now, the event timer thing is only showing me 1. So if there are 2 metas, I don't really know how to trigger the other. There's something about the fact that there's a meta and then there's an event chain. I don't know. So we'll see. I will say, I was playing last night and I saw in the meta that it had a section saying Defend Isgarin. So I guess Isgarin is a major character in the meta. And I guess that's why it was a spoiler to not play it early, because there's a huge chunk of the story where we don't know where Isgarin is. So it's not a major spoiler, but I guess it is a spoiler of some sort. I don't know whether there's something more to it than that. But yeah, so I will endeavor to do that. Another thing is, you know, we've had so much hubbub about it outside of the game. If you go look up Visions of Eternity, you know, the wiki page, there's so many screenshots of it. And yet there is not a moment in the story where... There's not a moment anywhere where any pop-ups appear or any NPCs speak to you, or certainly not any cutscenes or voice-acted dialogue that talks about the fact there is a new Homestead. There is a new Homestead, so we're gonna tour that. Maybe first of all today? I don't know, but that is something I want to do as well. Beyond that, we are onto side quests and, you know, secondary stories. So let's just take stock real quick here. Visions of Eternity, we are not getting near to 50k here. We still don't even have our 500 threshold, but we'll probably get there. So here's what we've got, right? With a story journal, for Act 1 I did everything, except at the very beginning, Solid Ground, I was supposed to use /cry while scouting the views of Castora. So we'll get that. I missed quite a few in Act 2. There are some more lore documents to read, so they'll be exciting. There's dodging all of the missiles. Now, I don't actually know how to do that because I can't dodge. No, I don't know the timing. I tried multiple times when we were fighting and they seem to go through my dodge. So what, do we have to run away or obstruct? I don't know. This is an interesting one. Find Creation 5 and 7 in the Starlit World after being freed. Now, I played with Kerry last night and we actually found these. So I'm going to go grab that in a second. And then this was just do the Basilica in under 10 minutes. That is something I don't need to stream. You guys will see that. So for story stuff, we're effectively done. The thing that I consider to be real content there is the 3 lore documents. The other things are not very major. So anyway, I did find it. Hopefully I didn't... Yeah, they were over here. I put a personal waypoint there at the Sky Shroud Canopy. So I guess they left the tree and then they came over here. So let's go have a quick little peek. And we'll see. I'm on EU today because I was benchmarking on the Golem last night. And I'm playing a bit of Revenant. And Revenant is really horrible with a little bit of skill delay, a little bit of skill lag. Because it really fucks with the queuing on the legend you're moving into. And it's like very, very costly. I suppose all classes have that to a certain extent with the weapon swap. But something about legend swappings just feels awful. Especially like when you're swapping into Malix and the first thing you want to do is embrace the darkness. And then if that's slow because of a bit of latency, you move on to your next ability too quickly. So it cancel casts embrace the darkness. And that's really bad because that's like a huge... Everything you're now doing that should be providing torment and stuff won't. Anyway, so look, here they are. Creation 5 and Creation 7. And they're sleeping. And they've made babies. Look, there's eggs. They're not cybernetic eggs. They actually have collision, which I think is amazing. They are big eggs. There's kind of like a dinosaur undertone to this expansion that I wish they'd pushed a bit harder. Maybe on the next map I'll get my big T-Rexes. Anyway, these guys were cool. When I saw this achievement before, I thought it might be that they're like literally up near the Dark Leviathan and they will pop up on the adventure to come, and I thought that would be really cool. Who knows for real? So I'm just going to press F. Is there dialogue? No, there's no dialogue. I'm not going to be disappointed though, because we could have received nothing. Wow, look, that false dragon spitter just ate some flies. It's like when you hold an iguana up to get rid of a spider you don't like, right? Anyway, there you go. So there's a little thing there. So let's go back to the Dark Leviathan now. And what I will do is I want to read the story journal for that last tiny little... It's probably just going to be like one paragraph. Just to get the commander's final take on that to get us into a bit of a story mode, because as I've been saying, I thought it was really fun last year once we beat the main plot and we were onto the side stuff. I want to do some Q&A, and so I've gathered some comments just from like the past 4 hours from you guys, and you'll see how many we've got, how much it stirred you all and how much you want to talk about the story. So another thing though, real quick, so yeah, that story. What else have we got? With generic Castora, there's quite a lot going on. Explore all areas, but we can't go to the undiscovered places because, you know, those are the later maps. That's what's happened all 3 of these recent years. Collect buried treasure. There was an analog to that last year with the Warclaw sniffing and the mythic caches. It was actually really grindy last year. And it looks like it is again this year. 50. And then that probably flips over to a repeatable one later. Oh no, it itself is repeatable, so I think you have to do it twice, so it's going to be 100. Collecting different skins, it seems. Extremis armor skins? It's such a shame you can't preview from this panel, by the way. Purchase from the Starlit World merchants with gold or special trophies that you acquire from the obscured chest. We still haven't done a single one of those mastery mechanics, the obscured chests, so I want to see that. Speaking of masteries, we did not finish a full mastery yesterday. So I could buy Castoran Survivalist, which is the very last one, gain bonus rewards when completing events inside Castoran Renown Heart areas, except we need another point, so we'll grab that somewhere. There's map completion to finish. I think we're going to finish that today. That'll be quite cool. Just a big roundup, really. Shipwreck Strand, quite a few achievements left to get. But in terms of the mastery, we're fairly close. 20 out of 36. Starlit World, we are nowhere near. Look at that. We've only done 13 out of 36. Why is it bronze, gold, silver? Is it alphabetical? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S. Yeah, it's alphabetical. We don't have to sing the song. So yeah, I'm not even going to bother beginning to look at that. That's a lot there. Renown Hearts, my progress is going okay. I've done Hull Garden 10 times. The Untamed Crags twice. So there's a big desync there. Okay, and so there's weekly rifts, there's mastery insights, we'll just get that from the map comps. There's Renown Hearts once we've done them. So the last thing, right, is we finished the story. We're going to read the story journal in a second, but there are the side quests, okay? So for this expansion, it's listed under Castoran Culture. Now, I just want to remind us, last year with Janthir Wilds, they had the side story section. Oh my god, it was huge. A Most Violent History was excellent, and so was Part 2. Build a Quaggan was kind of okay, it was fun. And these were all mini objectives. This was a one story. Okay, so they just had organised it a bit differently. Cryptid Chase. Fables and Mysteries. That wasn't a meaningful storyline at all, really. Tales of the Lowland Wisps. This one was alright. It was mostly just running around pressing F on wisps. Getting the crew together was excellent. This was really fun, really light-hearted, very refreshing, and it was a very dreary and sad expansion last year. So this was a nice sort of refresher from that. You know what? It's funny that this year's expansion doesn't feel so dry and sad. Last year we were looking at the victors of the war. This year we're looking at the people that were annihilated in the war, and it somehow feels a lot happier, you know? I think the actual story they're telling here is... nah, war just sucks, man. Look, for the Massat and the Seers. I mean, the Massat had plenty of their own tragedy. They may have won the war against the Seers, but they've got all that baggage about being exiles. They've got all that baggage about how they destroyed themselves from within through fanaticism and authoritarianism. There's all the punishment on the subsequent humans coming up later and how Saul and all of his guys suffered. There's the modern suffering of the bears. The Titans kind of lift out of that story, to be honest, to me. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we had last year. So this year, I'm very I hope I am interesting, but no, I'm very interested. We have Captain Leo the Restless. Sorry, the Relentless. This is the one about the cat crew, so maybe it's sort of an equivalent to the Lion's Arch heist stuff. Help grief-ridden castaways come to terms with their losses. The rings seemed interesting, these little Gwildel creatures. New assets involved, at least. Take the mysterious artifact to various locations and events. And we get a mini Shadowstone pet rock. That could be fun. And then Memories of Another Time. Help former Astral Ward member find their scattered memories. So, for the back half of this LP, this is what the story is now. We finished the main story. We're going to be doing the side stories. This is the main focus, all right? And you can see I've already got one of those pinned. But yeah, okay, so let's read... let's just quickly recap here. Visions of Eternity, Path of Divinity. I met with Isgarin back at the consecrated piazza. There he was able to trace the origins of the runes, and he explained that binding runes require an immense well of power and demand. By the way, I feel like this rune thing was a little bit shit. I realized when I replayed it again last night, obviously, on my Troubadour. That's the catchphrase of this series, isn't it? Jesus Christ. Anyway, that's probably the last time I'll say it, because I am done with that character too now. But, you know, I realized... those runes are pretty nondescript little things on the floor, and Isgarin later tells us one of them is responsible for all of the fog. You know, if I'm thinking about a magical thing casting lingering fog for thousands of years hence, I would imagine some kind of ancient ghost doing it, or like a massive temple complex with like a towering pylon at its center, or something like that. Instead, it's a tiny blue little thing on the floor, like, oh. I imagine a more expanded version of this story would have had those not be weird little runes, but, you know, full adventures for each one or something. I don't know. Anyway, he explained binding runes require an immense will of power and demand much from the caster, so they often leave a trail of essence where they were set. If he could trace the essence to the origin of the spell, we'd be able to witness the moment when they were conjured. It's interesting in retrospect, by the way. He knows what we're going to discover from all of this, and he's letting us in. That we're begging him for answers and being fuck's sake talk to us. And he's still being really brief with his words, but he is actually in the process of giving us those answers by taking us to that place, right? Like, he knows when we perform this tracing spell that the commander's going to be keyed in on all of it. Anyway, after casting a seeking spell, two massive astral projections of Isgarin and Sidoni, the former leader of the Seers, emerged. Isgarin was shaken by the vision. The projection of Sidoni scolded Isgarin for ascending Waiting Sorrow, a building monolith of Isgarin's mistakes, and banished Isgarin. Sidoni cursed and set Castora's defenses against him. That's why Isgarin has been so difficult. The visage of Sidoni flickered southward. Well, ... difficult. We're being nice about it. We think worse, though. The visage of Sidoni flickered southward, presumably in the direction of Ancora, mumbling about a tree, which turned out to have nothing to do with the pale tree or any of that shit. I mean, it's still open as a point of speculation, but, you know. With this information, Isgarin believes that he may be able to locate the artifact that Vlox seeks. So we went there. At the foot of the tree, once again, we're joined by Ritlock and Saida, who we met Isgarin at the foot of the tree that Sidoni spoke of. Although his senses are dulled, Isgarin claimed that he heard the low mumble of Ancora's call somewhere beneath us. After a bit of searching, we were able to locate the entrance of the vault. The door was sealed by what Isgarin called a tiered balancing charm, and he explained that each tier must be disengaged before we're able to enter, which turns out to be standing on some pressure pads. I don't remember him talking about tiered balancing charms. Was that in the instance? I don't remember that. After securing each tier, we were able to open the vault, and we ventured inside. The vault was filled with ancient seer weapons and artifacts. After determining that none of the artifacts in our presence was the one we saw, Isgarin guided us towards a large door affixed with a piece of shadowstone. and they finally talked to us about what Shadowstone was. Unable to interact with the stone directly due to Sidoni's curse, Isgaran instructed me to do as we did on the ship before. He would channel... Oh, I see. That was similar to how the expansion started. He would channel the dormant seer magic around us, and I would collect their essence to deposit it into the stone. That's funny. I think that's a really good thing for Arenanet to do, right? Teach people a mechanic early in the expansion and then use it again later in a more complicated way or in the middle of a boss fight or something. And I guess they kind of did that there with that door sequence, but in a really shitty, like, not very captivating way. If during the boss fight with Seb we had to do that, then I'd be like, hell yeah. And the door sequence is just a little refresher. Once the stone was charged, and then it should appear in the later game stuff, you know, the strike mission, well, fractals, raids. Once the door was charged, the door to the vault rolled open, revealing a cavernous chamber. Isgaran grimaced at the magic that hung in the air, it having coalesced over a millennia, and suddenly I could hear the whispers of Ancora too. At the end of the chamber atop a dais was an unmistakable artifact, Ancora. You guys have got some good comments about this moment, so I'm going to hold my tongue and let you guys speak in a second. As we approached the pedestal, Isgaran asked me to pick up the artifact. Whispers surged. Ancient power flowed through me. With the artifact in hand, we foolishly allowed ourselves to indulge in a moment of reprieve. Then I was knocked to the ground. Can I say, the cutscene-itis was terrible. And you guys dropped a few comments. They're not going to be in the Q&A, like, saying, oh, you know, it was a big shockwave. It makes sense. No, it was shit. Anyway, but I will credit that the actual animation when you're on the floor is quite cool. Like, when I replayed it, I could actually see, like, I was struggling on the floor and, like, you do slowly get up and stuff. When I came to my senses, I was on the floor and Vlox was backing away with Ancora. Vlox suggested I would come around once. Do you know how much money the Commander's Journal would sell for in universe? Look at all these details that she's written about everything she's ever done. I mean, what a chronicle. Talk about Samuel Pepys' diary. Look at this shit. You know what? In Guild Wars 3, if it's still set on this realm, just way off in the future. And I'm talking way off in the future, so we can have different societies and stuff. And including some old ones. I don't know. If Guild Wars 3 is on Tyria in the future, they should have a thing where you recover the old Commander's Journal. Think about the information. Oh, that was the word he used? You watched it 10 minutes ago? Okay, fair enough. I just blanked that each time. I'll tell you why I blanked it, because it's like MacGuffin combo, isn't it, really? Anyway, Vlog suggested I would come around once I saw the results, and he left Seb to keep us occupied. Interesting. So the Commander doesn't interpret that moment as Seb attacking us, and I've had a bit of a back and forth with you guys about that. To me, if I'm the boss and I hire a hitman, effectively, to kill someone, that's attempted murder, that's a jailable offense, that's a crime, I'm guilty, alright? And that's what Seb did, okay? But we're defending it because he looks disgusted in the moment, right? Look, he looks like, ugh. And because there's a chance that the Commander will kill Seb, it's better, right? Now he's just getting his own bodyguard killed, right? Now he's just complicit in the death of his hitman. And that's so much better. Look, I will forgive it. I will allow it. I will allow the Commander's interpretation, and I will allow the defenders of Vlox here. The reason I'll allow it is because I want to keep that door open. That Vlox might have a point. I think that's where the story's at its most intriguing. That's where it was most intriguing 2 years ago with Pather, until it all came crumbling down at the end. That's where it was most intriguing last year with Livia and the Scepter of Ore, before it all came crumbling down at the end. So, we'll see. Let's do it all again, guys! As Seb stepped between us, Vlok said, take your time. But who that was meant for is unclear. Ooh, nice little detail there. Was it meant for us? Kuda took off after Vlox, seemingly gleeful about abandoning her supposed ally. I seriously liked that moment. Kuda went from like a 6 out of 10 character to me to like a 9 out of 10 character to me with that. I love her. Kuda's been very, very little in the story so far, but I've been enjoying her. Eventually his mech failed him too, and Seb was forced to fight us on foot. Did that happen? Did I break a mech and then fight the guy on foot? I guess I did, now that I'm remembering back. Oh, God. I think the way to really emphasize that would have been to have a break in the combat in the middle, or at least reset his health bar. Like, speaking of Kuda, what about Kudu, right? If you remember, when you fight Kudu, when you finally kill Kudu, spoilers for 2012 story, but at the base of COE story mode, he has like 3 phases. He has like his golem phase, and then what does he do at the end? He transforms into a giant, like, mutated... oh, no. I think phase 1 he releases? How does it work? There's phases there, though, and I think there's an in-suit and out-of-suit thing. Anyway, that's a cool idea for the fight, you know, for the quote-unquote Asura expansion. Alright, so his mech failed him. Even with his raptors at his side, he proved to be little more than a wall that blocked our way. Something went awry with his tech, and the creation turned on the creator. We watched as his raptors ripped him to shreds. Last night when I played that, we specifically slowed down damage. By the way, playing that instance co-op is really easy. Like, one player will get all the missiles and fixation, the other one can just stand there and DPS, which is pretty nice if you guys want to get the achievements. Like, Kerry got all of them for free, basically. And I'm not salty about that. I'm not salty. I'll have to play it the other way on my main, because all the mechanics were coming on me, it seems. Yeah, that was a weird moment in it as well. My reflection on that is that, like, well, it would have been nice to have had some foreshadowing, not only that the inquests were on our heels, but also that his mind control stuff would fail. We had done that with the Seneschal, right? But not with... I don't know. I just think there should have been a lot more about Seb and the Raptors. I've had a couple of people disagree with me that there could be more with Seb, that they did enough. But, and I'm not even talking about cutscenes and having them on screen. I just mean, like, you know that side inquest collection we got of Debbie or whatever her name was? Drub? I think that could have... Something like that, but with Seb. A part of me wants to say that should have just been Seb, but no, I want it all. I want everything. So do one with a lackey like her, but I would have liked one to have heard Seb's research about what he's doing with the wildlife and really show me how cruel he is in augmenting these things and talk about the cybernetics and all that kind of shit and just show that he's a proper bastard so that then when he gets on screen, I'm like, oh, I know you a bit. I feel like I know more about Kuda than him. He was really good in the cutscenes, can I just say, by the way. Oh, it's also a bit janky that we got knocked out. We got knocked to the floor. The scepter rolled away, and then the camera immediately cuts, and he's just chilling next to his golem like he's been there for hours. That was a bit clunky. Anyway, I'm quibbling. Let's stop quibbling. After liberating Seb's creations, we turned to Isgarin. He was already weak from the energies in the vault, and the explosion only worsened his state. Before discussing our next step, we needed to get to him to clearer air. So we go back to the Dark Leviathan, which is quite the journey, but okay. I checked with my allies following the battle. While we were able to celebrate one victory with Seb's defeat, everyone is nervous now that Ancora is in Vlox's possession. Isgarin echoed those fears, especially with as little as we know about Vlox's intentions. When Isgarin performed the lesser version of the ritual on the members of the Wizard's Court, he dampened their memories so that they would be of an unbiased mind when he obtained that power. Vlox, on the other hand, was seeking an even more primal version of that ritual. And unlike Mabon, Dagda, or Lear, he would keep all... Lodger is not mentioned there. Hello? He would keep all of his memories intact. For this reason, none of us found much solace in our small victory. As we pondered our next... See, it's weird that... well, hold on, I'll get to your comments in a minute. As we pondered our next steps, the comms device that Vlox gifted me buzzed. He started by thanking me for disposing of Seb. I urged him to stop while there's still time, but I know he won't. He believes this is the only path left, and while he'd like me to walk it with him, he's not going to be deterred either way. It's clear that Vlox is going to walk this path, even if he has to walk it alone. There you go. And I thought that last scene, by the way, was very good. Not too long, not too short. Very good at illustrating the exact scenario we're in and the stakes. All that shit's really important just to recenter us, especially for people who aren't too enthusiastic about the lore. I thought it was all very good. Okay, right. Let's get on to some community. Well, okay, no. Let's break it up for a second here, because reading all that took longer than I anticipated. Let's go to the home instance. Let's explore the home instance, and then from the safety of our new home, I will read your community messages. Isn't that a good idea? And then we'll get out. We'll return to the world for adventure. So as far as I understand, we have to go to our existing home, and then there's something from there. When does Extra Life end? I still haven't done that. Right. So let's go. Cuda is like the anti-Greer of this mini X-Pack? What makes you say that? So I've already gathered all my crops and stuff for today. Sorry, I didn't think about that. So this is where we were living last year. Is there a little twinge of nostalgia for anyone here after 1 year? How early do you guys get, you know, I'm talking very specifically about like the emotion nostalgia. I'm not talking about just being nostalgic and unhealthily obsessed with the past. Something I can't relate to. I mean, you know, when you just play it and you feel it and it's like, oh yeah, fuck. Is anyone getting that from just last year? Naive WP, nowhere is safe now that Vlox has Ancora. Oh yeah, I should be quaking in my boots, nervous all year. Here's all of our mounts. Do you think they'll do a mini X-Pack with a totally new mount one day, or do you think it's always going to be reworks? I don't know if we need more. I really don't. I think we're okay. I think reworks are a fine idea. But tentpole masteries kind of are missing now, right? Like, you might call this the tentpole mastery from last year. And obviously during EOD, it was like, you know, it was not just the turtle, but the fishing and stuff. But and POF, you had the mounts. Heart of Thorns, you had the glider. But there really isn't one this year. Anyway, so I think we speak to Def Lahar. I'd like to change the time of day. I'd like to know more about more unlocking rooms. I'd like to change what the sky looks like. Give me a peaceful sky. That's this one. See, I've never bought any new skies. If I had bought new skies on the gem store, could I customize the sky of my beach house? It's weird. When there's only one homestead, I don't really care about the skies. But if there's two, and now it's a question of me mixing and matching, and it really feels like I'm actually starting to personalize my setup, now skies seem more interesting to me. I'd like to change my active homestead plot. Oh, this just isn't good. This sucks. Like, Def Lahar has got nothing to do with this. And just calling it a plot? They're not plots. Come on. You've done more than to make a plot. I mean, I guess technically it's just that... Come on. I want to travel to another area of the world. Will you join me, Def Lahar? I think I found another place we could live. I don't know, something. None of this, actually. Just fuck this. I shouldn't be talking to Def Lahar. There should be a new character. There should be, you know, an Inquest character or something that's defected and has said, hey, I really regret joining the Inquest. Here's a base that we had on this beach. Trust me, nobody's there. Let's go. That should be what it is, right? You know, just 5 minutes out of your day. Because that's all it takes, right, to implement that shit? 5 minutes? Cosmos Isle. When you move to Cosmos Isle, your current decorations will be returned to storage. If you'd like, you can preview it before switching. Oh no, I lose all of my carefully made balloons? Why am I so attached to that? It doesn't matter. Do you know what? I've spent like hundreds of hours in the guild halls building elaborate setups that just get deleted when we swap the hall. And suddenly... some balloons I dotted around. It's because it's the end of an era. That's what it is. It's like we're turning a corner in life, all right? You know, I've been wrestling with something this year. It's really weird. Maybe it's because of the move. I don't know. But for years, like, I've been getting older, but not feeling older at all. Like, holy fuck, I'm X age now, I'm Y age now, I'm Z, but it's, what? You know, you're still wandering around feeling like, you know, you're 20 or whatever. And I don't feel as a person any different, right? But this year, I do, it's weird. I don't know what it is, but it's like I've turned a corner or something. I don't mean that I'm physically decaying. I don't mean I've got health issues or I ache or anything like that. I'm still, like, my physicality, it's like emotionally, it's like inside I feel a bit different this year. It's really weird. I don't know why. Anyway, does anyone, any older people out there recognize that feeling? I kind of assume everyone else felt that way years ago, and I finally caught up or something. Like, only your knees and back feel older? So emotionally, you still feel exactly the same. Like, I heard a description. What was it? In what context did I hear this? It was an old guy speaking. I don't know whether this is fiction, like an aspect of fiction, or it was actually like an interview I watched. But they were really old, and they were asked how they feel, and they say they don't feel like an old man. They feel like a young man with something wrong with them. And isn't that just crushing and devastating? And isn't there like a real truth to that? I mean, I don't personally recognize that because, again, my body is fine. But I feel like we're all going to get there. No one ever really feels old. They just feel young, but with something's wrong now. You know, they're short of breath. They're this, they're that. And I don't know. So I've known that quote. But I counter to that, I feel weird lately. Maybe it'll pass. I don't know. Anyway, all right, here we go. Enough of that. Should we? Let's store our decorations and move. Come on. Choosing a new homestead plot will return your decorations to storage, and your current layout will be lost. This cannot be undone. Do you know what? As well, Arenanet, I wouldn't do it at Deft Lahar. I'd do it at the Guild Initiative headquarters or the Tyrian Alliance headquarters. You know, treat it a bit like getting a new guild hall. We've got one NPC by the fireplace for swapping guild halls. We've got another NPC for changing homestead plots. I just feel like that fits better and nicer. I don't know. Because there it's better integrated as well. Listen, because the thing is, right, if they're not going to give you this homestead plot for free in Visions of Eternity, if they're not going to sell it as a part of VOE, right, then you want to create opportunities for the player to realize it even exists, right? There's going to be a huge proportion of VOE players who play this expansion and should be like, oh, there's a homestead? Ah, but I need Janthir Wilds. I guess I'll buy that. They should have that experience, but they're not getting that experience. They're just logging out. You need, if you're going to do this business model where you're cross-pollinating the features, you need to have the guts to advertise it. So put it in a central Tyrian area. Put it in the main story. Let players know, hey, there's something else, but you got to pay. There's no point doing it this way. All this is going to... Because, like, you might say, WP, this doesn't matter. It does matter. Because right now, it doesn't matter that much because there's only 2 expansions, right? In 5 years, when we're still getting homesteads, but they're just buried because, you know, it all daisy chains back to something no one even gives a shit about anymore, that's going to suck. And you know what that's going to do? That's going to cut into their bottom line, but it's going to cut into the homestead enjoyers too because they're eventually going to say, well, no one gives a fuck about this. Let's stop doing it. It puts the homestead feature itself at risk. So yes, I believe this should be centralized. All right, anyway, let's go. Aha! It would be nice to even get a mail about it. Yeah! I mean, Christ. Ooh! Little bit of camera direction there. Let's turn off arc. Aha! There's a castaway. Are you the new Deft Lahar? See, there's no NPC here. Oh, we know. This place is cozy. How could... Look, what is it? Like, who are you? Where am I? Now, this looks like the north of Castora. It looks worryingly similar, actually, to the Janthir Wilds one, right? Where there was also a landmass of this general shape in this general corner. Oh, that's what I like, though. Look at all the beaches. Sand. Hello, nameless castaway with generic dialogue. This place is cozy, yes. I'd like to see your wares. Well, it's all just stuff I already have. It's stuff that Deft Lahar was selling. Oh yeah, there are these limit increases that I didn't buy. I forgot about these. Yeah, I technically don't have a maxed out instance. Oh yeah, the Titan Heatstone instant node. 1,000 Ursus Obliges. I do have enough. 50 gold. That's what I like to see. Good, expensive stuff. There you go. So we'll get that. Various trophies for the raid things. Various recipes we all already have. And then some legendary stuff. There will be no legendary things integrated this year, I guess.
May all your theories be sound.
May all your theories be sound. You know what? Liz sounded a little bit younger there and a little bit more energetic there than she does in the modern expansion. And I guess that is 10 years of voice acting for you. You can pretend this is the Matani keys. I don't want to pretend. But yes, I can. Now, do they have the cool wave tech going, you know, from the Shipwreck Strand where there's like quite big waves lapping? They don't. That's a shame. We can do some fishing. I wonder what kind of fish we get here. What kind of fish could you get in... Because you could fish in the other homestead, couldn't you? There was like achievements for it. There was actually a lot of cool steps in the story at the homestead last year. And they could have been a real service to this expansion story too, you know? For example, at the end there, where we're just continually returning to, say, the Dark Leviathan that we returned to. Actually, I kind of like going back to the Dark Leviathan because it's a nice bookend. But, like, when we're meeting with Isgarin just at the start of the second map, the Starlit World again, you know, scenes like that could have been taking place at our beachfront property. Oh, did I just get a new fish? Something actually dinged there, didn't it? Or was it because it's daily? Oh, speaking of dailies and things, we got this. Complete the story path, the Path of Divinity story chapter. 300 astral acclaim for that. The other two for the season, we've got 80 days until the next patch. And so we're pretty early on this one. Complete the Bee's Eye View of Paradise. And a season for work in Paradise achievements. And they actually take place here in this homestead. In your Castoran homestead, complete the Bee's Eye View. So there's something encouraging people that this exists. But once this season's over, that's going to be gone. And it's only worth 75. I don't know what those are. So there is a bit of content here. Okay. Stop my bitching. And then here, look, complete the Secrets of the World meta event. Which I do want to do, by the way. It starts in about half an hour, I think. So... yeah, there you go. Catching fish for the daily. So we get that, we get that. We'll do this for another fish for a bit more of the daily. Oh, no, it's just the bee thing, isn't it? It's just enter bee mode to decorate. Okay, I view that season reward thing as a single last-ditch effort to encourage people. But what's the betting this only appears if you own both? Can I know I'm asking for a lot here. Is there anyone in chat or the YouTube comments that only owns VOE? And to whoever you are, don't worry. You're not a fish out of water. Speak up. Be confident. We're all friendly. I would like to hear from you, dear new player. If this objective is on your list. Because I wonder if it is. I bet it's not. I'm on EU. I'm on EU today. Yeah, turn into a bee and fly for 10 minutes. See, I would say let's explore the place as a bee. But on the other hand, I want to do it on foot. It's not immersive. Oh, there you go. We got an actual good fish. Ruby-scaled goatfish. I can't believe how unlucky I've got with the fish here. I want to name and shame. Okay, Tokavian says... oh, Tokavian's not a new player, though. I'm seeing all the same ones as you, and I... only don't own VOE, but I do own everything else. Oh, well, okay, so you didn't buy the new one. You bought last year's. So what happened there? Mini X-Packs burn you out? I mean, that would have happened for some people. They would have said, all right, fuck it. It's not good enough. I actually always get... I'm not to be Deb. Hi, I'm Debbie. And I'm here to talk about the fact that when new people are asking to join the guild, we have 500 members, so I have to kick old people. So I always filter by the old people. And they haven't, like, logged in for 2 years or, like, a year. And it's really sad. It's like, oh, man, this is a person who played Secrets of the Obscure but clearly didn't like it, and now they don't play anymore. Yeah, that always depresses me a little bit. Isn't that depressing, Debbie? Yeah, it's really depressing. All right. Let's explore. I'm curious where the mine is. I'm curious where the harvesting stuff is. I'm curious where the collection boxes are. Oh, there's a skiff here. Is that available for rent? It is available for rent. That's very cool. Was there a rentable skiff in the other one? There's a ley line here too. Oh my god, it looks like a fucking volcano back there. Do you know what? I haven't played it, but I've watched Kerry playing it. In Dawn Trail, there's like a house like this. Was it Dawn Trail or was it Endwalker? There's a feature like this in the new FF stuff. And you can like fill it with mini pets and stuff, if I remember rightly. I'm sure I saw that. She was customizing the music and filling it with mini pets. Got some coral. I'm not going to fish in all of these. Oh no, it's nighttime. No, no, I don't want to explore my beachfront paradise at nighttime. Ah. All right, that means it's Q&A time. Oh god, but then once the night's over, the meta. All right, we're just gonna have to explore it at night. The workshop. Oh, here's Mr. Quiggles. Such a good sound effect, isn't it? Can you not change the time of day in the homestead? Can you? What, with the initial NPC? You can just permanently set it to day and night. I thought sky customization was specifically... Oh no, set the time of day. Daytime. Whoa. Yeah, look at that. We would have missed out on the lens flare. Look at the blue sky. Let's see here, by the way. So that looks like the Blood Tide Coast sky to me. Call me a nerd that spent too long looking at skyboxes, but I believe I'm right. And in Blood Tide Coast, when you turn bloom on, all the lovely details go away. Oh, they're actually all right. They're reasonably preserved in here. Not bad. All right. Ah, and a surrogate. See? Like, set this up in actual LA. Put that in the plaza or something. So here's our cats. 4 cats around a cauldron. The cats appear to have bought you some sort of soup. I don't think I should eat this. That's so cool. Look at the animation in there. Oh yeah, my mini snowman's out again. It is randomized. Apparently he was on the, in that big epic instance at the end of the story. He was wobbling around and someone dropped a comment saying, the snowman's killing the immersion. Damn, you can explore really far away. So there's loads of places that you can go to just build your own stuff. If you're going to make it a structure of your own, right? I wonder how this looks with the Aurora Borealis. Sky. Isn't that the only one they've sold so far? The water looks good there. Nice reflections and stuff. The rug is floating a little bit there. Are those ley lines going directly up? I like how they're using the ley lines almost as like a smoky effect, right? Like, all these little coral assets are quite cool. Oh, this isn't too good. This is quite a long way away for the harvesting box for this. That's quite a walk. But then again, it's flat enough that a roller beetle would mean it doesn't really affect you. God, it's going to take a lot for me to put balloons around all of this. This place feels way bigger than last year's. It might not be true. Oh, there's a turtle. The siege turtle hatchling? It might not be true that this is bigger than last year's, because last year, like, once you max the mastery out, it massively expands how far you could build out into the tundra. I just never really engaged with it. I stayed within the fenced area. So I don't know for sure, but this feels pretty epic, doesn't it? Jesus. Oh, they sold a rainbow sky as well, did they? Okay. The only good mini is Festive Ho-Tron, the Jingle Bells. Yeah, look, there used to be quite a good collection of, like, noisy minis. The best noisy mini... Well, I'll ask you guys, what is the best noisy mini? I know exactly what I'm going to say. In fact, it was so good, / bad, depending on your perspective, they had to nerf it. They actually had to put a patch in to change. And that's a very regular thing. I remember, here's an actually old anecdote. When minis first came into Guild Wars 1, one of the ones in the set was the Cave Troll. And it would make the full-blown noises. Like, okay, it didn't sound anything like that. But, so, like, you'd just be out adventuring with some players, just, you know, around, not pre-Searing Ascalon, post-Searing Ascalon, anywhere, right? and you'd be hearing these trolls ridiculously loudly, and that had to get nerfed. So it's kind of there's a long heritage of nerfing loud minis. Jungle troll, that's it. Sorry, not cave troll, it was the jungle troll, you're right. Even as I was saying the word cave troll there, I was like, it's not that. It's a different one. There you go, yeah, jungle troll. WP, I comprehend that you won't answer, but how can you put a marker pack in the Tiny HUD add-on of Nexus to work? Thanks in advance. Yeah, I struggled with that as well. Their UI, look, again, I don't want to talk any shit about the project because they've put a lot of work in, but you really do have to dig. I will tell you, first, you need to install it, okay? Go to configure it, wherever it is on this list. There it is, Tiny HUD. So click configure. And you need to check this checkbox, allow pre-release updates, because I guess they're getting on their feet, so it's not all so it's out, but it's not really out. I don't know. You need to click allow pre-release updates here, and then once you've done that, in options there's the data sources tab, and you'll see them here. If they don't pop up, click refresh sources, and you should see them. If you have any other issues, I do recommend you go to their Discord. I'm in their Discord, and I was typing to them. There's not many people. There's like maybe 20 people in there or something. And, you know, give them some encouragement or just general user feedback or whatever. They seem nice. They seem like they're listening to people and stuff. And maybe they'll sort that flow out later. Maybe they already know, you know. All right, here we go. Ley lining around. Exploring. Can the bee ride ley lines? Is that a thing? Let's see if we can get launched up above the volcano. I doubt there's anything in the middle of it, is there? Woo! We can! Hey! Love it. Is this one going down? No. Ha 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 ha! I don't think that one's real. I think it's a bit big. Oh, there's a ring up there. Can you see that ring up there? Hidden achievement? Do any of these take me up? Do you see that spinning orange ring right up at the top? It seriously looks like a destination of some kind. Like a loop to go through. Alright, well there you go. So that's the volcano. Those are the beaches. Beachy, sandy areas. It feels a lot more hollow without, you know, a little bit of story in there, doesn't it? Maybe we can go down. Oh my god, we can. Whoa! Hey! Whoa! Damn! Okay, but hold on though. I can't control my spawn point into the homestead. I can't have it so that the door connects to here, can I? Also, do we get a new door? Surely there should be like a sandy door. Oh, I just have the ley line riding off. Like, this is sick, but I'm never going to put the effort into coming down here. It feels a bit empty without any balloons. Look at that. Look, this map was made with love and heart. And what players will see it? Are you aware they sell doors? Yes, I'm aware they sell doors, but I feel like you should get a base door. I don't know, maybe you shouldn't. Oh, wow, look, we can go down. Oh, my God. Oh, look, there's a fucking, Oh, God. What's it called? Why is the name blank? Why am I blanking on the name? Leviathan? No. That's so cool. Holy shit. So, hold on. Wait. The end of, like, the first trailer had that in it. But it was never actually a playable boss or anything, was it? Do you ever actually fight that or see that animated ever in the history of all of Guild Wars 2? I'm getting confused here. No, you do, right? They are the Leviathans that eventually you do in End of Dragons. You do. Then they weren't just in the trailer at this point. But still, that's really cool. A Leviathan. Oh my god, are there multiple? That's totally a different one, isn't it? There's loads of them. There's 3. Oh, that's cool. Look at them there. It's just seeing them actually swimming in the water like that forcibly reminded me of the trailer, and the fact that that trailer really felt like it was going to be a big story moment, and it never was, and that's like the trivia that sticks out in my mind. But of course, in End of Dragons, you get swallowed by them and all of that. Yeah, that must be so big. We're not allowed any deeper. Look, let's not ignore the little fish swimming around and stuff as well. Wow. Do you know what? I like this. I sort of wish they did this exact thing, though, in the actual maps of the X-Pack. Imagine if this was what you saw below that grotto, remember? I don't like amazing details when it feels like people won't catch them. I mean, this is a good reward for going off the beaten path, I suppose. That's so cool. Patented crack open a cold cola moment. This is, we're back to Vive today. My mic never used to pick that up as much as it does now. I must have changed something. I'm actually really nervous that I'm going to go and listen to a bunch of these VODs later and find the microphone was dog shit the whole time. Or not as good as it should be. Like, because if I move my mouth to the wrong place, like, I don't know, does it sound muffled? Like, it's quite a tight window with condenser mics. Anyway, really, really cool. I'm glad we didn't miss that. And they got the sound effects and everything just right. But again, like, what is the use case for this? Is there a quick little TP to get me in? I don't know. All right, let's become a bee.
Spark to flame.
Flying mode. Eyes, my bees. This is mine. These are mine. I think I got that in the wrong. Why can't I descend, by the way? No, my mount descend button is not working. Oh, is it working? Just incredibly slowly? No, it's not. Left alt should take me down, surely, right? Fuck. I can only go up. Or I guess point down. Tremendous commentary, thank you. I think bees are tremendous. Do you know what, guys? I say this fully and deeply. That pit of water was tremendous. That entire cave was tremendous. Look at that. There's only one word for a moment like that. And I think we found it. You can make teleporters. True, so I could build a house, and then I would use my, like, magic mirror teleporter thing to go into the house. I don't know, it's odd. At least with guild halls, there's a big, like social component to it. Oh, we can't do it. Oh, they're birds! They're birds! I thought it was like some kind of like fiery particle effect that I was getting a bit too close to see. They're birds! Flying in a circle. God damn, look at it. It's good, but without an investment on my part to actually build a house here... I'm going to have to see what I think. I'm going to have to really try, and I'm going to have to engage with decorating this year, I think. I'm not just going to fill this with balloons. The thing is, as cool as those caves are, I would want to live on the beach. I'd probably put my house, like out here, to be honest. Maybe on that grass, if I can. The problem is you can't remove existing assets. I can't delete that tree. I can't delete the plants. I can't paint the floor. I can't buy pre-built structures, you know? How long we got to the meta? 15 minutes. So I don't know. Like, if I want to put a house here because it feels like a prime real estate, all these assets are going to be clipping into it. So I need to put on stilts. Right, how's this looking? 1 minute, 56 seconds for the bees eye view of paradise. Okay, so that was one of the objectives. What was the other thing? A season for work in paradise. A season for work in paradise. Like, if they could still do cool stuff with this, by the way. The start of the next patch could begin here. You know. This could be where we meet up for our chit-chats. Spend 5 continuous minutes decorating in your homestead in ground mode. Oh, right. Okay, yeah, I got you. It's just ground. Oh, and that's going to be responsible for 2 of these Castoran ones. Okay, that's fine. All right, so... Oh, I guess we actually have the building to look at as well. So I'll let this achievement ding, and then what I'll do is in decoration mode, I'll explore those. That looks really cool, by the way. I love that house in a boat, and as far as I can tell, that is not a Lion's Arch thing. Not that I remember from Lion's Arch. Like, that seems like something totally new they've made, which is very cool. The shadows are look at the shadows all up under the cursor there and everything from the update. Really good. Has anybody done any further assessments for screen space shadows? Like whether they dislike them or whatever? To me, this just really looks like another ambient occlusion button. Oh, wait. Wait. No, yeah, there is ambient occlusion. Like, it's effectively doing the same fucking thing, isn't it? Just more thick. Maybe you turn screen space on, ambient occlusion off. Maybe that's the actual strategy. Just look at all the foliage as I toggle these boxes. AO. Screen space. You can tear the house down. The house is new decorations. You can modify and delete these ones. Awesome. Which means you can also add new ones, right? So you could just dump your house there. And it is on stilts. In like survival crafting games, we would call these foundation pieces. Right? Like these are foundations. 100%. In fact, maybe they're all individual pieces. Maybe they are. Hold on, let's see then. So if I click decorate... Oh no, the cats are fighting. Dude, where I used to live, the fucking cats screaming at night as they got territorial and started hacking at each other's faces. Jesus Christ. Lovely animals. Right, so yeah, we're decorating in ground mode. Let's see what is deletable. Now, you don't get, like, a wireframe to know what is... Like, is it all one piece, or are they all little pieces? Should we see? Ah, they are little pieces. Is this corner piece just a piece on its own? Oh, okay, the whole row was a piece. Well, let's try and place that back down, shall we? Man, I've forgotten some of these controls. We did such a big conversation about this last year with Janthia Wilds. Let's open our palette. My favorite traditional Coden bed. Let's remove that from our favorites. So, these are new architecture pieces. This is a boardwalk. So then we want to spin it. We want to move it there. Sink it down. It looks like the scale is slightly too big, maybe. I've broken it. What? This is so much thinner now. What happened? Maybe I didn't break it, actually. Okay, no, I think I... See, because you can't actually put the numbers in. There we go. Fixed. Oh, shit. It was fixed, and then I broke it. There you go. Someone's going to go mad if it's not perfectly aligned. There you go. All right, happy with that? Happy? Look at that shit. That is, like, connected. Ignore this tiny little bit here. Oh, it's... Oh. I'm sorry. Sorry, everyone. What we need to do is scale it by, like, 1%. But I don't have that modularity, do I? No, that's all it clicks. So, actually, it is at the correct scale. It's just... needs to pull back like that so that there's a little bit on either side. Yeah? Oh, how satisfying. Wow. Oh my god. Okay, thank Christ that worked. I'm going to leave the stairs. Right, so there are lots of individual pieces. Let's see what we got here. We got a hammock. Oh, I can't press F on it, but that's okay. We got a gramophone. I think it is playing Halloween music. Yeah, there you go. It's just got a long roll in. That's on theme since we just finished Halloween. Oh, I can't sit on things while I'm decorating. Bunch of bottles and things. I wonder if this is a one piece or each individual one is... It's funny, I wonder whether the guys actually initially placing these would rather decorate now with the in-game tools or whatever their actual software is. I'm sure their actual software is probably much faster and better and more granular. It's funny, like I said, I'm learning how to like edit and make shader particles and stuff, and like basically shader work. And I can either do it in game and reload assets very regularly, or I can use like this really janky old in-house tool that is like super shit. Like it reads files wrong, it bugs in all kinds of horrible, awkward ways. And it's like, okay, do I want to use the actual particle editor, or do I just want to try and do it in-game, you know, so I can see what it's actually going to look like immediately instead of just all this jank. And I mostly just go in-game now. The particle editor is horrible. Oh, look at the doors opening and closing. I like that. Little sliding doors. We got a sound effect? No sound effect, it seems. Aha. Oh, that windmill thing is editable too, then, I guess. It's got a bunch of stuff here. So the house from last year you couldn't delete, right? The Janthir Wilds house is not completely removable. Can I put my homestead here? Does that make sense? If I own both? This table looks like it's straight out of the Janthir stuff. There you go, a season for work in paradise. We've done them both, which is going to give us some astral acclaim. We now have 900. I got a good idea. With our 900, let's buy the Seaside Scholar shorts. And let's buy the Seaside Scholar hat. We already did that, apparently, at some point, did we? Alright, I've got everything now. We're just back to Pearl Shell stuff. Seaside. Oh, I want to go by the seaside. See. To know the lyrics. Pearl Shell. There you go, Pearl Shell Spear. I use Spear on like every single build I play at the moment. Every build. Except Ellie, I guess, actually. Never mind. It's a lie. Okay, so now what we do... Alright, guys. I'm not happy with Vlox. I think he's wrong. I think he's not a good guy. So I'm moving on. I'm rejecting Inquest. I'm embracing the beach. There's no chest piece. Oh, I wish I hadn't unequipped that. Why did I unequip that? Oh, I'm going to have to reset it all up now. It doesn't even look good. Do you remember that bug where you could actually dye your underwear? That was really good. Also, the dye... Oh, God, and we've killed the dyes. Oh, no. Even as I'm doing it right now, I regret all of this. Oh, this looked so good. That was like one of her definitive outfits, and it's gone now. I'm going to have to try to rebuild it. What is going on with her hair? Oh, because the hair is dyeable. All right, well, there we go. Let's lounge out on the hammock. And read some community comments for the next 5 minutes. In fact, we probably don't even have time. We're going to have to come back, guys, because the meta is going to be starting. And I bet that this is... No, apparently not. Wouldn't people be, in theory, filling up? I can't see the world map for my timer, but I'm sure it was at 1:15. Okay, well, let's just see here. Let's back out. Go to delete mode and press 5. I can edit this in Notepad. What can I edit in Notepad? He may as well be making a video. I mean, yeah, that's how I feel. The meta ended ages ago. The meta is over. The meta was 30 minutes ago. Oh, it fucking ends at past. Oh, this add-on is reading wrong. Look, it clearly says there, rest starts at 20:15. 8:15 starts. But that's not what that means. That means it ends at 8:15. Oh. It started at 7:45 and it's ending at... God damn it. Alright, yeah, so I guess we just do Q&A then. That's fine then. Mouse over the event slice. Oh, right, I understand. It depends on the slice we're at. So it started at 8. Okay, it depends on the slice that we're on. Okay, rest starts at 8:15. Alright, I gotcha. I gotcha. That's my own ineptitude there. Okay, alright, so the next one starts at 20:10. So that's not too bad then, actually. It's not like they're on huge Jormag style cooldowns. Alright, so it's starting at 20:10. So we've got plenty of time to do other achievements, talk about the story, stuff like that. Okay, let's go back to the beach. Let's go back to the beach. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm sure you guys were saying in chat, I did miss it. I have been reading chat. Like, the whole time we were exploring the homestead, I was reading chat constantly. I just missed the, Oh, now it's nighttime. I like how the camera moves every time we go in. I was wondering if that was going to be a once or twice thing. Right. So here's what you guys think of Visions of Eternity. Sort of. Okay, can I just say, as we roll into this, that if you guys want to post your own like little reviews or whatever, I would love to hear them. Let's sleep. You know, give me your overall thoughts or whatever. Anyway, here's some feedback from a very this is not many comments, and I'm sorry if your comment doesn't appear here because it's from a very small subsection of the stuff. But basically, so how many have I got here? I have 12 comments from you guys. Some of them are walls of text, some of them are a little bit shorter. Let's see what everyone has to say, shall we? Maybe we can get the camera. Oh, that's a good camera angle there. We got Liz on screen. Do you know what we could also do? We could filter this and give it a little alpha. Oh no, actually I don't know. OBS is overly complicated sometimes. We'll just leave that as is. Okay, so regarding your theory for Vlox and Omad's machine. So in the last part we were talking about how Vlox seems to really have some ideas about the future, and he seems to really want to prevent future disasters. Maybe it's just because he authentically figured out the dam was going to collapse, no one listened, and now he thinks, fuck, I've got to do it myself. Or maybe there's something deeper, and I said it would be kind of interesting if he'd actually gone into Omad's machine. We went back to read the short story, What Scarlet Saw, and it kind of suggested that maybe there'd been other test subjects, but it didn't say anything specific. Anyway, Menevia says this. Regarding that theory, Omad's diary, actually in-game, in Scarlet's secret lair, has this line. Day 1, new experiment, new journal. Kiara is ready, excited even. My previous attempts have all ended in failure. Previous attempts, guys! But Kiara, if anyone can pierce the veil, it's her. I've made her aware of the possible risks, just like the others, but she's still keen to go through with it. So there were others. The question is, what does failure mean? Does it mean that they die? And I have very little doubt that when they originally wrote this stuff, they kind of did mean die. But who knows? Is it possible that Vlox goes in the machine, sees a bunch of shit, but just tells Omad, I didn't do anything, sorry. And Omad's like, oh, you're useless. You couldn't pierce the veil. Fuck off, right? But Vlox goes away being like, oh, shit. Is it possible? So anyway, Manevia says that definitely implies there were others who underwent the experiment. However, the diary also goes on to indicate the others as failures. Day 4, vitals are erratic at times, but nothing I can't correct. My left ear is bruised. That's from grabbing his ear, which we read in the other short story. I've slept all of 3 hours. The subject, Kiara, has exhibited bouts of thrashing and continued emotional instability. There are moments where she'll speak or shout in response to something. None of the previous participants made it this far. So it's possible. I had someone else say, hold on, WP. I said, okay, maybe it wasn't this. Maybe the inquest just got their hands on the machine after we left it there in Dry Top. Because there were inquests everywhere. And look, we just wandered off. I did get a comment from one of you guys saying, hey, WP, the machine got destroyed in Dragonstorm with the Balthazar stuff. And that's a good point. We used it there. But, you know, there is a gap, right? Between early Season 3 and... early Season 2 and late Season 3. At the very end of Season 3, actually, right? Well, you know, the penultimate patch. So, there is a gap there during all the events of Heart of Thorns, where feasibly that theory is still a thing. So I kind of like it. Does it really mean much? Probably not, but it's an idea. So here's Banjo. Says, Banjo had lots of comments. You'll see, so like this is just 1 hour ago, 2 hours ago. These are very recent messages. Didn't PTM also mention that T could stand for time? I thought they were hinting, or maybe just trolling us, that the M would be naturally make you think time machine. Yeah, I think that's what you're immediately meant to think. But it could be something else. And someone had a really good theory. Sorry if I'm jumping the gun and I took a screenshot. I can't remember. But someone... No, they said it could be pet transfer machine. Pet transfer machine. Ah. Because he transfers his pet into a golem because he loves his dog. Banjo also says, with a timestamp of an hour into the last episode, I feel like the player was never really told about the details of the ritual of Divitum Nava and on the risks involved. Does the commander know it all, or is he not allowed to know? It's not overly clear. I would have loved for the player to have a moment here and reflect on what could have happened to Zoja. Yeah, me too. And the fact that it didn't even appear in the story journal just now is wild. What? That's either Arenanet forgot, or they specifically don't want the player base to remember. Because to think about Zoja and the pain that she went through is to more readily invite the questioning the ethics of this, and they're not ready for us to do that yet? I don't know. Next, we have Narek Tarek, who says, actually, this story skipping a detail could easily be fixed if Arenanet adds a text box for you to read when you press F on the Seer Tombs, and in the text box where you see Ancora is written. Yeah, I think that this one's actually kind of resolvable. It doesn't need lots of voice acting and stuff, just maybe a little bit more detail work in those instances. But the Vlok's name, are there multiple directors, what is his rank, all that shit, that fuzziness, I don't see how they can easily fix that. It feels like there is a bit missing from the game and the story. Sorry, in chat, live chat, Guild Wars Sushiba says, I'm sorry, but the last year's Guild Wars is going in a very bad direction in any aspect. Oh, when I skimmed your message and chose to read it out loud, I thought you said that aspect. And I was going to ask you what that aspect was. But no, you're just a generic doomer. Look, if you're going to be a doomer, have a point. Put a fucking point on it. Say something. It's going in a bad direction in any aspect. Say something meaningful. That's not meaningful. That's just bitching. What direction? I agree, there's some ups and there's some downs. I mean, Christ, where were you 3 months ago? That was full-time Debbie at that point. Banjo again says, your comment about story-based collections will also affect the Renown Heart upgrades too. You won't be able to experience that system again, and it will easily be missed. Yeah, exactly. You may not experience the changes to the flute part of the first heart that I experienced. To contribute to this heart, you can find a beginner's sheet music note on a rock and play a flute song to various band members. At tier 3, the beginner's note disappears and an intermediate sheet note appears on a cliff above, with totally different notes to play. Yes, it's ultimately the same event, but it's so easy to miss such a cool detail. Yeah, so it's like you're spending time at the beach at Hull Garden, learning to play music over the days. That's really cool detail, yeah, and I've missed it. I actually did do that music thing. It might have been off stream rather than on. But I hadn't seen that the notes had been upgrading. And by the way, I did see you talked about this on another part. It'll be interesting to see in 6 months' time if you do a refresher run through the story and see how long it takes without the collections. Yeah, I think that probably will happen, right? If there's no real story in 90 days and we have to wait till after Christmas, sorry, or, you know, even later than that, because obviously it's all shifted a bit this time, then I'll probably will want to do a refresher run. And probably thoroughly enjoy it. And by the way, since I've played it a second time already on Mesmer, those steps are quick, and they're a bit awkward, honestly. Like, they'll say, go speak to Isgarin. Okay, go do... And he says, go do this thing. And then it says, go... okay, you're done. It is a bit awkward. I love the gentle snoozing sounds of Liz in the background there. Is it Liz or is it someone else? Because that sounded very masculine now. No, I think it's just me. You know, I wish the randomized mini setting had a thing where it was like every X seconds as well. In FF, I have my UI set up so that whenever I toggle in and out of combat, it does it. Right. Zhuzhang says, it's interesting that neither Isgarin nor the commander... Zhuzhang's had a lot of really big, really meaty comments the whole series, by the way, and I've not platformed like any of them, but they're all really good. It's intriguing that neither Isgarin nor the commander lingered on the fact that memory loss from the wizard version of Ascension isn't innate. It is deliberately done by Isgarin. The commander even wrote about it in the story journal, but there was no talk on it whatsoever. Anyway, this definitely pushes Isgarin into a more morally grey place, because before Zodja ascended, she explained to us that the ritual itself is what makes wizards' memory fuzzy. So basically, it sounds like, even though the wizards know they will lose their memory when they undergo Ascension, they didn't have any idea that it was Isgarin making it happen. I don't know whether that's totally accurate. I think it's possible they do know Isgarin is going to make it happen, and there have been long therapeutical talks where they're 100% sure that they know, you know, the procedure they're about to undergo and stuff. I can imagine a world where Zodja is fully informed about all the details and why they're there. Is it really so crazy to imagine that Isgarin sat Zodja down and said, hey, I can ascend you, but I am going to take your memories away. This is a dangerous, powerful thing. You're going to be a very different person, and I need you to be unbiased, all right? Like, you have to consent to this. I will not do it unless you allow me to make your memory fuzzy. It is a de facto part of this experience. That's it. You know, there's no arguing. And Zodja stops and she chews on it. And she says, you know what? I've got all this past trauma, blah, blah, blah. Fuck it. Yeah, let's do it. Is it impossible to believe that? It's not impossible to believe that. I think, though, with the way that Arenanet's written it, it's unlikely. And I think there is a chance he's deceived people. But this is the other thing, though, right? Like, Zodja's one thing. But what about the other wizards? What about Mabon? What about all these, like, long, you know, like, communiques between them? Mabon and Isgarin really knew each other, right? They were very candid with each other. You see those discussions they had that got alluded to in the last patch. And I don't think that Isgarin has been lying to those other major wizards for years and years and years and years and years and holding that off. Especially not with how candidly he was just open with us about it. He kind of treated it as like need-to-know info. Yeah, we didn't hear it 3 years ago, but we've heard it now. Right, like he was pretty relaxed about it. Like, there's clearly no risk that the commander's going to go and tell Lahir now and Lahir's going to lose his shit. If that is the case, then that's just awful storytelling. That's so lame, and that's going to be such contrived drama. Because, again, it's like how in the Wizard's Tower at the end of Janthir Wilds, I hated how they were acting like teenagers, fucking throwing shit at each other, and, like, they've been together for hundreds of years. Like, things will have been discussed. That's my view on it. And I think to take that, like, very small scope concept, it sucks. And that's... But we are at risk of that. I think that the Arenanet do go very small with things very often when I want them to be big. They talk about oceans as though they're lakes. They talk about civilizations as though they're intimate families. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're very good about going big and thinking big with the setting. I don't think they really consider... So there's a chance they haven't really considered what 1,000 years of conversation is like. On the other hand, yes, these discussions came up last year in Janthier Wilds, and some of you guys said, yeah, but it's like family. You really get under each other's skin after a while, so of course they'd be arguing like teenagers, you know, like any of our lived-in experiences. I don't care if you're 80 years old watching my content, you're still not qualified to say that people who have been together for hundreds of years can't get over petty drama. Do you know what I mean? And so anyway, moving on from all of that, obviously Waiting Sorrow is different. She clearly didn't have the big, long conversations. And in fact, the memory loss there, if there was any, I mean, they said that was she got the full thing, so there wasn't. So yeah, she's just an exception. Anyway, I do feel it's a bit weird because by all logic, this is a major thing, and I wish that Liz was talking about it. Just as I wish she talked about it in Secrets of the Obscure. Just as I wish she talked about the fractal stuff in Secrets of the Obscure. I will say that this expansion was really good with Saida and Kanak going back and forth. That's been brilliant. So good. I want that, but on the topic of the fractals and on the topic of memory loss. And I would like to see that in the upcoming patches. I think we really need it. Okay. Let me get a glass of water here. WP, if you could ask Isgarin to wipe one memory, what would it be? That's always a question, isn't it? What would you, if you could forget like some piece of media to play it all over again, what would you pick? I don't know. The real answer is probably some personal trauma. You know, some instance of bullying when I was younger or something like that. Or some example of me being a coward or me being too angry, something that I'm guilty about or something. In terms of like media, I don't know, and like entertainment, I find that really hard because it's like there's just caveats to everything. Like I think Lost, the first few seasons, is some of the best television ever made. But it's also terrible to the end. So I can't rewatch Lost anymore. So you could say I'll wipe my memory of the later seasons of Lost. But then I would just go and rewatch them and be like, oh, fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so I don't know. The thing is as well, in terms of like wiping some memory, like there's a part that the things, your hobbies and the things that you like, the media you absorb, they sort of become a part of your identity, and I wouldn't want to take those away. And we're at no shortage for new projects, right? New games, new books, new movies, new up-and-coming live streamers, right? Because this is the true entertainment now. Just think about all the incredible new content creators you guys will discover in the next 10 years that will take you away from me. Right, like we don't need to forget the shit we already experienced. Just have fun with something new. It's out there. So I don't know. There's a new NG rotation with 53k using 4 kits. Yeah, that's quite old, isn't it? NGs have been doing pretty big damage for a while. I hate kits, though, so I refuse to use those. Didn't they say in-game there's a lot of similarities between Isgarin and this commander? Did they? Someone has a good point about compassion soon. Anyway, sorry. Okay, Janask has had his comment on screen for how long, and I haven't read it. Here we go. Sorry, Janask. He's been sitting there on his tippy toes. His balls as blue as a Smurf. And here's what he has to say. Just catching up with the LP, loving letting them play in the background, and haven't finished the story myself. Thank you. That's very complimentary of you. That's very nice. And he links a timestamp. He says, WP, you talked about being a bit let down by the personal motivation for the cast going to Kastora. As you have found out by now, Isgarin turns out to have a larger role than at first glance. But I also think one of the reasons why our cast has less reason to go this time is because of Arenanet realizing these expansions need to focus in order to work. Think about Janthea Wilds with Keith and Malice both having some personal motivations for joining us, both of which could and should easily have been storylines in themselves, but because the new expansions are reduced in scope, none of these plots got anything but a few lines of dialogue throughout the expansion. For me personally, at least, I feel they shouldn't create motivations for our cast. Because unless they have unless they have resources to follow through with it, either through the main story itself or in a side story. Janask, come over here. Come sit in this seat. You should be the streamer. He's right. Or she is right. It's 100% correct. An excellent observation. You're totally right. Malice felt weird like a nothing burger because they did nothing with it. Keith felt a bit... Keith I'm a little bit more sympathetic to. But didn't really do anything with it. So yeah, maybe it's fine to... like, in Secrets of the Obscure, they reflected and said, okay, we're going to do a smaller cast, didn't they? So they tried that with Janthea Wilds, but it was still a bit awkward. So this year, they just kind of said, fuck it. The thing is, right... I think you're right. But I think these might still just be symptoms of them picking the wrong characters. Like, I don't... Like Ritlock this year. Ritlock had no good taps into the story or motivations. None, really. Gorick would have had loads. So what's the argument? They couldn't do Gorick because they couldn't pull off on it, but they could have, right? Gorick would have met Pete, and they would have had a couple of lines back and forth, and it would have been the same amount of dialogue, the same amount of on-screen, the same pace, the same everything, but it would have felt far more meaningful and would have been really, really interesting, right? Gorick would have met PTM. And you know, the script might have been slightly expanded, but I mean, I don't care that the script is slightly expanded. I want the script to be slightly expanded. I feel like, so it's just that thing of like, is the mistake that Malice had too much motivation? Or is the mistake that in truth, she had none? And it was all just an artifice. I don't know. I don't know why Ritlock is in this expansion. I don't know why that relic is called the Relic of the First Revenant. And we get it at the end. Ritlock's closest connections to this, by the way, is Sahothin. Ritlock could have been... first of all, I think Ritlock should have been much more pissed off with his Garen, and there should have been much more... like, bickering between... Not bickering, I think actual venom between the two. I think that would have been a really fun dynamic to watch. I think Ritlock could have been an excellent voice for all the players who don't like his Garen. And I think Sahothin as well. I think, like, I'm telling you now, I would have written a scene in which they're under each other's skin, and then Isgaren makes some quip about taking Sahothin off of Ritlock, because it's a Seer thing anyway. Like, and that would have been really good, because it would have been a callback to the Logan Ritlock stuff, where Logan was like, oh, you looted that sword from Ascalon. And I would have had a little nod to that in there and everything. There would have been some fucking good scenes with that, right? That's where Ritlock connects to this story from where I'm sitting. And Arenanet didn't write any of that. They didn't do any of those beats, those character beats. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Look, this isn't Debbie. Debbie's in the corner. I think they did very well this expansion, but there were, in my opinion, improvements to be made. Saida's a really excellent member of the cast because, you know, of all these shipwreck survivors and stuff. But again, it feels like we didn't really get to enjoy that. Like, I think there could have been a lot about Saida interacting with the Hole Gardeners, right? Getting to meet their mayor, speaking pirate to them, you know, like maybe the commander's dropping the ball a little bit and fumbling, and Saida gets to step in and she gets to, you know, set us right. You know, that's where Saida really would have thrived, and none of that's in there either. It just comes back to the same thing all the time. They're not long enough. Like, I like to believe that their writers see all these opportunities. I like to believe that they want them in there too. I think that they don't have the time to write it, or the money to fund the voice acting. I don't know how it works. I don't know. What can I say? I don't work there. I don't know. But it feels like they're missing elements to me. Okay. Did Sahothan get a model upgrade this expansion? No, but they did recently-ish add... And again, that thing I just said about voice acting, it doesn't all have to be voice acted. That's the thing as well. You know, it is just... I am just talking about text on screen. It's really okay. There's the fiery dragon sword from the Hall of Monuments, right? This. And then there's the enduring fiery dragon sword they added, and I don't actually really know what the difference is. Like, the icon is different. I really don't know what that was all about. And then the icy variant as well. That probably got added ages ago, didn't it, actually? Sorry, I'm reading chat now. I want to see what you guys think about what we just talked about. I feel like we get back to the same argument each expansion. We just need more, especially in the story. Unfortunately, with this model, it's probably not going to change. Yeah, and look, the important thing for us all to recognize with that, okay, is that's never going to change. When that does change, it's actually a bad thing, all right? Like, that catchphrase, that buzzword, that catchphrase, always leave them wanting more. Like, that's not bullshit. That's not like a fun, fluffy little thing. That's real, all right? Like, the day that you don't want more, that's, oh, it was too long and it got boring, okay? Oh, fuck, this dragged. Oh, fuck, I'm logging out. I can't be bothered with this. This is tedious, right? Like, you want... It's actually a victory to have your players and your content creators or whatever saying, oh, I wanted more, I wanted more, I wanted more. Because the day that they don't say that, those are the long, dragging games, right? But again, that's why I think a lot of this can be optional, but obvious, right? Like, that's like, optional, like that cave we just went to with the Leviathans, is too hidden, right? But if it's there, if there's the white dialogue boxes, and I can choose to press F, and I can choose to get that, as long as they're evident, and they're there, and maybe have achievements pointing to them, and they're not too far off the beaten path, then yeah, dump a load in, because the player has control over whether they want to read that, whether they want to skim it, whether they want to skip it. That's where you can get the really good stuff. And, you know, that's why the balance of storytelling is so good over in other games. Guild Wars... So that's where I would argue for inflation of the content. But yeah, you know, I'm desperate for more, and that is a good thing. But I think there's still a lot more they could go with it before falling into tedium. Right, Lupus1882 says, if the Ancora contains the souls of the seers... and spoke to us to judge us whether we're... This was really good, by the way. Whether we're worthy of ascension. Does that mean that the Scepter of Ore, Legavo, contains sacrifice seers as well? In Janthir Wilds, it was said that it has its own consciousness, and it tests the worthiness of its bearer. Oh, bravo! Bravo! Oh, bravo! So good. Yeah, I mean, come on. Excellent. I didn't connect those dots. You've connected those dots. I think that's right. That's got to be right? Now that we've seen seers can sacrifice themselves in the construction of artifacts, I think it's fair to say that the Scepter of Ore had a seer in it. Maybe multiple seers, but possibly just the one, and that's the difference, right? I think the Staff of the Mist probably did, and that might explain, everybody, why they have these different names. There's the Scepter of Ore. It's also called Legavo. Why do we have two names for this thing? Why introduce a new term? Just to sort of add some pomp to the world building? No. It's the seer's name. Legavo is the name of the seer that is within it. That's why it has the two designations. Mulmund is the name of the seer that died in the creation of the Staff of the Mists. So I'll see your theory and I'll raise you a theory. I think it's that. I think that there was someone called Legavo once. And maybe we'll learn about them and their history or something in the next patch. That'd be very cool. Yeah, never go full Dawn Trail. Exactly. To use a Guild Wars example, because I can't speak of personal experiences in Dawn Trail. I heard the pacing is fucked in that one, though. But, like, you know, the Scepter of Ore instances in Lion's Arch, I loved them. I like to think the people watching this video right now, you're all my guys. You probably liked it as well. But, I mean... You might have disagreed with the direction, but you can't fault the actual subject material and all of that, right? So, a lot of other people were like, they're yapping. I can't focus. There's too much attention. Why is there so much talking? Let me press a skill. right? Like, and that's I did a horrible sneery voice there, but the truth is that that's valid for those people as well. The people who are less into the story get really annoyed by all of that long stuff. So again, optional. Ancora Pax, Ancora Bellum. Yeah, so what are those extra designations for the Ancoras then? We now know 2 seers from Ancora, Bellum and Pax. Didn't we get their names? Oh no, we got the rune names, didn't we? Yeah, what is the actual lore idea of creating the legendary? Has anyone done it? Has it got like an actual story like Chukra and Chumpawat? Should I hold my breath for that? Speaking of yapping, I love that we've got the sounds of Liss gently snoozing back there. Like someone has just clicked this video thinking, oh, is this entertaining? And they're like, what the fuck is this? I'm out. And the ZZZs embody how they feel. All right, the Hamian said, I hope Arenanet lets Ritlock channel Sidoni so we can have 2 seers bickering with each other. That's a funny idea. You're saying that as a joke, but is it possible that once upon a time Sidoni was the conduit legend? That would have given a lot of purpose to Ritlock being here. Ritlock has not... sorry, Razza has, like, nothing to do with this plot. At all. And it's kind of a fun novelty to see Ritlock channeling Razza, but it's like, what? When did you do... What? Razza completely lifts out of this. Antiquary kind of got a bit of a nod in the end, especially with the Script King. You know, a lot of them I can feel sort of a slight connection. That reminds me, guys, we do have the other 8 beginning acts to the game to see. There are all those other entrances. So actually, maybe if I play Conduit, we can see. Maybe the starting story is actually going to meet Ritlock. Fuck, maybe I should go do that. All right, we'll do that after the Q&A since the meta's still a bit away. Okay, here we got Asgarzigal, who says, I think Seb was decently built up over the expansion. He could have appeared a bit more often, but in a lot of the Inquest-related lore, it's clear nobody in the Inquest likes him, and he is just a total psycho. His raptors turning on him was satisfying, but didn't make a lot of sense, since he literally has a mind control device. There probably could have been some foreshadowing about his tech being flawed in some way. Yeah, I don't think it was satisfying. I mean, it's a fun idea, but this is not Ramsay being eaten by his hounds, right? Like, they didn't build anything up. You can't just cut to Sansa smiling and expect anyone to feel anything. You have to show Theon getting his knob cut off, right? You have to show things. And Seb doesn't have any of that, to me, on screen. I don't think Vlox tried to kill you in the end. He knows and respects the commander, and the way he looks at Seb in the cutscene, he was basically sending him to his death there. Yeah, and we talked about that a little bit a second ago. I can see that. One aspect I really liked about Isgaren's character is that despite the whole detached ancient wizard shtick, he ultimately acts out of compassion. Yes! A brilliant reading on the character. He basically sacrificed everything to save a random bear. Well, okay, on that note, did he or did he think he could get away with it? It turned out that he got punished really hard for it, but it could also just be a bit of arrogance and a bit of, I think I can break the rules a bit here, you know. It's probably a bit of both. At the same time, I can't really blame Sidoni either. Isgaren did essentially defile their most holy rite. He's a bit extra about it, what with building all the defenses, specifically to keep Isgaren out, but I get the feeling they were quite close. So the betrayal was very personal to Sidoni. Yes, and I think they were close. That's why even after being kicked out, Isgaren was incensed at Sidoni's assassination and avenged him when he didn't have to. Vlox, meanwhile, so here's okay, Asgarzigal said some good stuff right now so far, but here is where Asgarzigal becomes a true connoisseur. Ready? Here we go. Vlox, meanwhile, seems to be set up as a foil to Isgaren and the commander. He seems to be driven by ideology or logic more than compassion, despite having ultimately the same goals as Isgaren and the commander. With how Guild Wars 2 storytelling usually goes, I'd expect a heart over mind thing, And it will end with Vlox ultimately being the villain, but they do keep it open so far. There is the possibility that it's all this sweet talk is manipulation, but maybe they'll do something more interesting. I do hope that all of this talk about the future isn't the last of... Okay, so there's too much to talk about here. So first of all, I think that's really, really well identified. Yeah, that's the fundamental way in which Vlox is different. There isn't that element of compassion. That element of compassion is what redeems Isgarin, despite all of his horrible elements. And it's what does not redeem Vlox. As we go forwards, and we start talking about how Vlox is ripping people's minds apart to stuff them into machines, and we talk about how Isgarin's been ripping people's minds apart to ascend them. One does it compassionately, one does not. Maybe that's it, right? Maybe we'll find that Vlox doesn't really care about Tyria. It's just an ego thing. And you might find that a bit passé, a bit boring or whatever. But the thing is, that is kind of very Asura. I don't know. And can I just say, right, I wanna put my thoughts very clearly down about Vlox. It's okay if ultimately he's the villain. Paitha, I don't think it was okay that she was ultimately a hero. And she was sincere the whole time. This time, I think it's totally fine for Vlox to be the villain. But what I want it to be is from an earnest desire to do good. If it turns out he's just a liar, and there's like nothing more to it, and it's just a very shallow, aha, I'm twirling my mustache thing, I think I'll be really disappointed by that. What I want to see from the Vlox thing is, yeah, have him be the boss at the end of it if you want, right? I don't need him to become an ally, right? But I do want to see it's earnest. And I want to see that it's from a grey place and a place that's like, fuck, I get why he's doing this, right? I have to put him down, but I get why he's doing this. Not some shallow, oh, I'm just a bad guy kind of thing, right? So, and so far, yeah, I think it's good. And the debates between Karnak and Saida have all been really fun and really invigorating and, you know, it's been good stuff. Okay, and then a final topic from this mega comment. I do hope with all this talk about the future, this isn't the last Guild Wars 2 expansion, right as they seem to be hitting their stride with the mini X-Pack format. But I get the feeling this story might lead directly into Guild Wars 3. All the give the future of Tyria back to her people talk does sound like that. Yeah, that quote especially. Give the future of Tyria back to her people. What people? The next generation, the new game, right? I definitely get what you mean. I'd love to see confirmation of a new mini X-Pack. I would really like to see that. Now that I'm at the point that I've beaten the story, I'm starting to feel really antsy about it, you know? Can you do good as the head of the inquest? Exactly, right? That is a fun topic. Can you hire a bunch of horrible, nasty pricks as long as your intentions are good and you might actually make it or whatever, right? Like, because the thing as well, and that's really what I think they need to double down into, because look, he has this staff. It's not just about ascending him himself. It's about ascending other people. So some juicy topics to go into is, do these grunts deserve ascension? And specifically, you know where this is going, everyone. Specifically who? Does Kuda deserve ascension? That's what it's going to roll around to. She's the next big character. She's the one that's had a bit getting set up. Does Vlox opt to give that to her or not? And I think a fun beat might be him saying no, actually. And then she stabs him in the back. And he dies. And we're like, fuck, man. Vlox was a good guy after all. That would be a good direction. I could totally buy that story. And then Kuda's the final villain. There's a lot of ways they could go. But that central theme of, like, you know, how much power do you give to people when you can't trust what they'll do with it? Because that all counts for Vlox in the Inquest, and that all counts for Isgarin in the Wizard's Court. And does it end with Isgarin, you know, breaking up his Wizard Club? Who knows? Vlox will die like the Norn women. Oh, that's very good. For anyone out of the loop, this game has a bit of a history of killing female Norn. There's a route you can go through the story that has, like, 6 of them die or something. Like, all the major deaths will all be Norn women. Oh, well, I guess that can't be true because the mentors, right? It's got to be Siren or Forgor, who's a man. Or, oh my god, I almost said Tyrix. Not Tyrix. He was the commander. Tybalt. I feel like we don't really know enough about what Ascension gives you to judge why it's dangerous. I think that's a good point. I think they need to do some groundwork with that. We know some things. We know that Waiting Sorrow is a crazy spellcaster. By the way, Waiting Sorrow made the Heart of the Obscure, the ultimate MacGuffin. And we've got absolutely no detail about it or how she made such an epic thing. I actually buy that she could have made it now. Now that I know she's a full ascended thing, I buy that she could do it. So that actually helps out some of those other storylines a bit. But yeah, so we know there is power. Like, I was talking to Kerry about this yesterday. Like, she was saying, how powerful is Isgarin? Like, could he have soloed Balthazar was a question that came up. We were talking about that. Could Isgarin have soloed Balthazar? The Guild Wars 2 POF era Balthazar. So what is Balthazar at that point? He's a depowered god that's inherited some magic from a bloodstone. Isgarin is familiar with Shadowstone. I don't know. I don't think Isgarin could have done that. Or maybe Isgarin and Waiting Sorrow together. I don't know. I don't think so. I think if he could have, then it's even worse that the Wizard's Court steps out of that decision. I mean, even the Commander doesn't solo Balthazar. We need Aureen's help to do it. And Kraukatoric's help to do it. Right? He had to fight the Commander and Kraukatoric and Aureen. And Sahothin. Just to be fair as well. He had to fight Sahothin as well. So, you know, like I don't really know what power level these guys are on in terms of combat prowess. But does that sum it all up? I mean, immortality is big, right? In any other storyline, in any other media, just giving someone immortality is kind of like a fat perk, right? And that almost, to me, is enough already, you know? When we think about the Celestial Ministry stuff and Ashu, when we think about the Inquest seeking immortality, taking their pets and stuffing them into golems so that they'll live on, you know, like, Ascension is... That's already pretty good. But I think there's sort of an element of mist travel in there too. Don't forget Waiting Sorrow alluded to the fact that she'd hung around the Foundry of Failed Creations many times. Alright, what time is it? It's 10 to 9. When was the next meta? 20 to 10? So we got 50 minutes. So yeah, I don't know, but I would like to see some more. Alright, here we go. Zhu again with another wall of text. This is the penultimate comment. Yeah, Dev said Sahothin was Balthazar's own sword. Cormier says the answer was in our own hands, alluding to Sahothin. Yeah, Sahothin was kind of the key to a lot of that. But, you know, there was a lot stacked against Balthazar. But this is the thing as well, right? Like, so in the last part, I was talking about how Ascension kind of... Like, there's this idea that you steal a lot of lifeblood from the planet to ascend. And maybe that's what the gods did. So are the gods on par to seers that have completed Divitum Nava? Or are they like even above that? I think they probably should be even above that, really. If a depowered Balthazar... I mean, the thing is, it was one of the Bloodstones. I know they say Shadowstone is pure and more powerful, whatever, but the amount of magic in that Bloodstone was huge. I mean, it protected the world. And I know it's only a fifth of the total thing or whatever, but you still. So far, Isgarin hasn't shown his full potential. In Secrets of the Obscure, he didn't do shit and got taken over. In Janthe Wilds, he hasn't shown much either. And so far in VOE, he has to rely on the Commander. Well, look, let's... Okay, we got to ground ourselves here. The Seers lost the war to the Massat. All right, they lost. Yagon died. Sorry, Sidoni died. And Sidoni was at that power level. They had plenty of Seers on Isgarin's level. Lots of... We have an example of a family where 2 of the children got it. Only 1 failed. There were a lot of Seers that had gone through it. So I don't think it's a combat prowess thing, actually. The more I think about it, it can't really be a combat thing. I know that, like, the Massat won the war because of Spectral Agony specifically. But even before the invention of that, that's what finished the war. Even before the invention of that, the impression is it was hundreds of years of struggle. Hundreds of years of back and forth between the 2 societies. So I don't think it's... So look, let's just return to the head of this. Arenanet needs to tell us. We need to hear more about this. It's a bit vague. Give it to us in game, I think. All right, Zhu says, Waiting Sorrow was the... Okay, all right. So, now. We had a little debate on the last part. Who was the first to ascend? I'm of the belief it was Waiting Sorrow. That was the impression that the previous storylines gave me. He ascended Waiting Sorrow, got exiled, and then later, like, he founded the Wizard's Court, and Mabon was the first to join that little idea. But he had ascended Waiting Sorrow first. That was my interpretation of it. Now, Zhu Zhang has had a good look at the details. Here is what they've come up with. Let's see what they think. Waiting Sorrow was the first to ascend, but Mabon was Isgaren's first recruit, because he had let Sorrow wander off into the world before she later returned with Vas, by which point Mabon had already ascended and was building the World Spire together with Isgaren. So the big question here is, did Isgaren ascend Waiting Sorrow with the original and with Ancora? And if so, did he also wipe her memory like the other wizards? It's really messy because there seems to be contradictory information scattered in Secrets of the Obscure, Janthia Wilds, and VOE. Yeah, so this touches on something I had not been thinking about. Waiting Sorrow did lose her memory, right? That's her whole story. She lost her memory and it started creeping in, and she was disturbed by memories of blood and Coda and whatever. And she went to reconnect with her people. She definitely lost her memory. She wasn't just severed from Coda, right? She lost her memory. And she was upset about it as well. Wasn't that the fundamental disagreement between the two? So if she lost her memory, that suggests it was the lesser form of the ritual, which suggests it was after the exile. And it wasn't with Ancora, but it was. So I don't know, I'm confused. Or is it really... This is like discussing fucking anime. And do you know why this is like discussing anime? Because anime is usually written like shit. Too convoluted. But like, so maybe he did use Ancora. He did give Waiting Sorrow a full ascension. And as a little bit of his own magic, he put into that memory loss specifically to get rid of the Coda thing. But if that was possible, why not only do that? Why ascend as well? Right? I don't like this. We're too nitty-gritty with it. Anyway, so let's just let Zhu Zhang speak, okay? I'll be quiet. On Ascension and Ancora. 1. When Sidoni cursed Isgaren, he specifically said, if you touch Ancora again, your flesh will burn. Which sounds like Isgaren did use Ancora to ascend Sorrow. But it could also just be that Isgaren had been the wielder of Ancora, or he'd been in charge of ascending any other seers, thus the expertise needed to modify the ritual into his own version, or something like that. Point 2. Sidoni accused Isgaren of gifting her hours. Not sure if a modified version would still be considered as the seer's sacred thing, but the two versions are largely similar. Well, he was more specific than that. He said you turned our ritual into a parlor trick. But then again, that sort of sounds like the lesser version. Isgaren reacted very frantically when Waiting Sorrow left the court, and it could be justified if Sorrow's ascension was literally different from all the other wizards. She has way more power than the others. And if her memory didn't get wiped, she presumably knows about Castora and Ancora. So from Isgaren's perspective, she would be very dangerous for knowing such important information. But then again, why did he let her wander off after her ascension in the first place? The period with Vas and stuff? Again, maybe compassion? I don't know. Isgaren himself said, the rite I performed on my fellow wizards is a more subdued, precise version. So he himself did not allude to Sorrow being different than the other wizards. Yeah, that's true. He didn't allude to her being different. The cutscene with Sidoni did. Just the idea that Isgaren somehow got Waiting Sorrow from the Arctic to Castora, then performed the ritual with Ancora without being spotted and stopped by other seers seems so unlikely. Okay, by the way, I didn't interpret any of that as Waiting Sorrow was in the Arctic still. I thought she came down south and then abandoned the Claw. Oh no, she didn't, right? The Claw chose to leave on his own terms because they were alone and starving. Is that right? But, I mean, these guys have portals and teleportation magic, right? I mean, if we can believe of surrogates of modern Inquest, why can't we believe of transportation of these guys? You'd think the seers considered Ancora such a sacred relic, they'd keep it under close guard. Yeah, but he was also a very high-level seer, right? How could Isgaran just take a random Kodan into their sacred outpost and do whatever he wanted? Yeah, but that's a good point as well, because I'd been thinking he just had the Ancora on him and just did it. But no, they've told us that the ritual has to happen here on Castora, where there's a place like the Artesian Waters or whatever. But then it raises the question, if Sorrow's ascension was not at Castora and not with Ancora, how exactly did Sidoni even know that Isgaran did this sacrilegious thing? Uh-oh. People are following the story and revealing plot holes. On the memory wipe. In Secrets of the Obscure, it was definitely established Waiting Sorrow didn't have memory about her past. She left it in the note to Dagda. She said her memory had been bubbling up in the back of her mind, and she left in search for her past. In Janthir Wild, she apparently knows everything. She told her story to Stoic Alder herself. But I can't remember in any game in-game dialogue dealing with how she got her memory back. It's almost like we're to assume that she never lost it. So I have no idea what's going on here. If I just missed the information about her memory, then fine. Maybe she got her memory back when she was fighting Icebrood in the north or something. All I want is a straight answer. Oh my god. Let's say that again. All I want is a straight answer. Yeah, and can this fucking count for all the Menzies, Foundry of Frailed Creations, White Mantle Titan stuff as well, please? I really do believe that if Waiting Sorrow was indeed ascended with Ancora and the original version of Ascension, Arenanet should be direct and tell us straight that yes, she was different, and that's why Isgaran was so off with her. But as far as I can see, it's as vague can be. Uh-oh. I can feel her, guys. No, Debbie. Stop. It's Debbie. This sucks. This is bad storytelling. Yeah, sorry, guys. I'm going to be a Debbie, but what? All right, what do we think? Corey Saru says, isn't it explained that the ritual of ascension has to be done in the Castoran inland? When Isgaran found Waiting Sorrow, it wasn't on Castora, so maybe he hadn't it with him. Yeah, exactly, right? So perhaps Waiting Sorrow being a claw has some impact on why she wasn't a claw, she was a voice. Yeah, the claw left because Sorrow didn't return. Cottage says, it's interesting Sorrow still spent almost 250 years just observing lowlanders after leaving the Wizards before she finally entered as Aurora. I mean, I got the impression she was wandering and the memory thing was failing. The memory charm isn't perfect. It does deteriorate over time. Because, like, Lear's the same, right? And that was a part of Zodja's story, too. We need our memory wiped so we can understand a story. If this story is for people... We need our memory wiped so we can understand a story. This story is for people with ascended lobotomy. Oh, very good. Deborah Downer Whitedale. Oh, yeah, that's good. Debbie. Debbie is our Let's Play character. Isgaran touched Ancora to ascend initially. Then Isgaran used a lesser parlor trick version to ascend Waiting Sorrow and dampened her memories. I didn't think any of this was unclear. You know what? I think Leary's right, actually. That's a simple reading of it. What's wrong with what Leary just said? There's nothing wrong with what Leary just said, is there? I think Leary's right. I think Leary is so correct here. I'm going to screenshot him, put on screen. What is wrong with that? That's it, wrap it up. There's nothing wrong with that. So she's not been Giga ascended. Sidoni's just furious that even a lesser version of it was being used, which is kind of a nice touch to the story too, because it emphasizes his pettiness, right? I really think the instance should have been clearer. on that. Like, Isgarin should have rebuked him and said, I didn't do the whole thing. I didn't even use... See, that's where the writing is a bit convoluted. Because they're tying it all to Ancora, even though Ancora wasn't actually used with Waiting Sorrow. So, like, the fundamental idea is Isgarin is not allowed Ancora. But now we're being told that he never fucking used it in the first place. Why go to all these... Here's what's wrong with what Leary said. I've just found it. What's wrong with what Leary said is this. If Isgarin is being exiled and locked away from Castora so that he can't get this thing, but he doesn't even need it. His crime wasn't even using it. And as evidence, as history showed, he kept doing the lesser thing anyway. It accomplishes nothing to exile him. He learns no lessons. There's not even necessarily a thirst for Ancora. If Ancora was never used on any level, then it's a bit silly. That's the problem with what Leary says. And I hate that that's a problem. But that's reasonable to... It's like they want to have their cake and eat it too. Once you read Sidoni's note during the escort and collection event in the Basilica, Sidoni further explains why he's suspicious but kind of open with other races. G-Nick says, I wonder what else Isgarin did that Sidoni considered Waiting Sorrow just to be the final straw. Yeah, that's a good question too. Consorting with the enemy? I don't know. It's dramatic. The Sears are dramatic. Yeah, I like that idea. I think that could work. But, and especially, you know, when Isgarin says, yeah, you think I'm fucking dramatic? Look at what this guy did over this. That's a really good line if it's extremely clear that he didn't even touch Ancora. But they didn't put that dialogue in the instance. Isn't it a taboo ritual? Because, like, here's the other thing, right? Sidoni doesn't just exile him. He curses him. He curses him so that he can't touch Ancora. He curses him so that he shouldn't be at this fucking island. If you're going to curse him about... Why not do something that impacts his ability to perform Lesser Ascension, which was his crime? It's like our society says you're never allowed to eat a Victoria sponge, right? You never, ever eat Victoria sponge. And then someone does it. So I say, all right, you're exiled, and I'm going to curse you. You can never eat Black Forest Gatto! Ah! The superior cake. It's like, well, what? I'm going to go keep eating sponge then. Bye. It doesn't really work. What's your thought about if Mabon was part of the Massart hunting squad sent after Isgarin to avenge Yagon's death? So both of them could be... yeah, that's a cool idea. No, that's not... It's not so they be petty. That's not pettiness. That makes no sense. That's incongruent. There's no logic to that. That's not a story. So it's not pettiness. All right, anyway. So... Zhuzhang had a little bit more to add as well before we go way too off. And the timeline for Mabon and Waiting Sorrow's ascension can be clarified by organising different materials together. It's also messy, but I think we can get a unified timeline here. I forget to put it in the main body text, so I'll leave it here. Right. 1. Isgarin's journal in Janthea Wilds said, I let her, Waiting Sorrow, roam on her own for a long, long time before she and Vass joined us, which confirms Sorrow was ascended well before joining the court. 2. Eparch's memory from Secrets of the Obscure has the line, Isgarin speaks of ascension, Waiting Sorrow, equilibrium, which confirms that Isgarin ascended Sorrow before he found Eparch in the jungle. And in the Lonely Tower fractal, after beating Eparch, Mabon asks Isgarin, Eparch? That's Eparch? You described a monster, not an army of them, which means he had never met Eparch before the incursion. And since we established that Eparch was after Sorrow, it must mean Mabon was also after Sorrow. The Secrets of the Obscure achievement, Strength of the Unseen, also supports that Mabon had not met Eparch before the events of the Fractal, but there's too much dialogue in that one, so I won't put it here to bore everyone. Look at that sleuthing. Do you know what? We've been talking about story recaps, like having a cool cutscene that, you know, gets everyone on the same page. Let's all remember that last year, just before Janthea Wilds, Arenanet put out a blog post that was a primer on the Massart, remember? And they actually included some new details in there, like Shadowcraft. By the way, what was that all about? Shadowcraft was never really a thing in the story. It was just the name of a mastery line. And Shadowcraft for the Massart, Shadow Stones for the Seers? More convolution? That's a bit weird, or is there something going on there? Anyway, what I want to point out is they did do that primer last year about the Massart. I don't think that's that useful because there's a blog post that dies, nobody looks at it, blah, blah, blah. We need these things in-game, we need cutscenes in-game, we need dialogue in-game, we need to break the fourth wall in-game if need be with a narrator character or some shit, I don't know. Anyway, I'm feeling like we need this about the Wizards, like an actual history of the Wizards, a compiled timeline. A, then B, then C, then D, then E. Presumably Arenanet has that. If they don't, write one and scrutinize the fuck out of it and make sure there's no plot holes. And if when you release it to the community, plot holes are found, fix them. Retcon them and fix them in the short term. Repair the damage. Let's get an actual story here. That's what I think. There's no mention of Eparch being after Sorrow. Sorrow simply wasn't around due to being shocked by Varsnakim's death. She wasn't there at the Lonely Tower, right? So there is still a question of if Waiting Sorrow met Eparch? If there's any takeaway, I hope Arenanet sees this and puts in a WP reply lore book next story pack. Not just a WP lore book. Everyone who's in these comments, everyone who's on the forums, everyone who's interested in this. We want your story, Arenanet. We want it to work, though. This stuff, by the way, if QA doesn't catch, is forgivable. All right, this is more about their lore masters. This is about their guys. They're Rhys-Sosby types, you know, whoever that is in the modern era. They need to have the ducks in the row, and the blame falls on them when this shit doesn't line up. And when it becomes too messy, like at the end of the Foundry of Failed Creation stuff. Where I think it's less acceptable, even further still, is shit like Vlox's name and stuff like that's like, ugh. And Saida knowing him, and those are tricky, smaller things that really shouldn't be too difficult. That random Laranthian note in an otherwise unrelated book collection was devs cheekily responding to criticism of Laranthian not being around in Saga. It still fit, though. I mean, it was Vigil stuff. We were dealing with the Vigil, and it was good to note what he's doing. So Skywalker there says, my personal take is, despite possible plot holes, Isgarin did do the full version on her. I think the story only really works. It only works if it's the full version. You can't punish Isgarin about Ancora when he's not even fucking around with Ancora. He has to have used Ancora. Or it was a major element of his life in some way. That's maybe a way to wriggle through it. I mean, maybe we can say Sidoni heard he ate Vanilla Sponge. Sorry, Victoria Sponge. And now he knows he's going to get exiled for that. And he absolutely doesn't trust him not to eat a Black Forest Gatto. So he's going to do what he can for that, at least. I don't know. We can wiggle through it. I feel like we're getting a bit tedious here. There you go, guys. That's your thoughts. That's day one of responses and comments. Give me more. All right. And I don't, it doesn't have to be about lore holes and nitpicks and stuff. Tell me that you like Saida's arse. Tell me that you enjoyed the flying flies. Tell me that the masteries were good this year. Anything you like, all right? Just give me your reviews and thoughts and feelings about VOE, because we're in that space now, and I'd love to do a bit more. Let's get in and play a little bit of content now. I want to get map comp on the 2 maps, and then roll into the meta event. That's what I want to do. So, wakey wakey. to Liz. Eat your breakfast. You need to get reinversed into Guild Wars 2, or reinvested. Yeah, I'd like to say just play the 3 mini-X packs back to back, and it will all be clear, and it will all make sense. I don't know whether I believe that. Sadly. There we go. I'm going to change the build as well. We're going to play with the hair today because... so I was wearing the Orion... No, what's it called? Ara? Fuck, what's it called? Undead? Lich? It's Lich. Lich vestments. Vestments of the Lich. Fuck. Well, whatever. Close enough. And then we will try... Should we keep the rest of it on? Oh, do you know what? Maybe there is a chest piece I can wear. What's a good beachy chest piece that isn't the swimwear thing? I've got to know, by the way. I have to. I've got to fucking... I've got to see. What does the breezy swimwear, the, like, sexy clothes look like on this character? It's just a tiny bikini. That's hilarious. Alright, well, I don't really know what we have, because I don't own those skins. Maybe one day, from a guaranteed unlocker. Do I have like a South Sunny thing? Elonian? I mean, that's pretty light and breezy. Let's go with the Elonian investments. There you go. All right. Now let's check here. Starts. What is going on here? Why is it saying starts at 20 there, and then I mouse to the left and it says 2140? That's within the same pie. Is that because there's 2 metas and they're both on top of one another or something? Right. Oh, look at the bee. Oh, maybe I should have bought it. Perhaps Isgarin did use his variant of the spell on Waiting Sorrow, but Sidonia wasn't aware that he could. And he just assumed, well, then how does that explain the parlor trick comment? Well, I mean, I was happy to swallow the parlor trick comment last time when I wasn't even considering that he'd used it on Waiting Sorrow. I also just don't think it makes sense that he did it away from Castora. I think people have got a really good point about that. What did he do? Fucking sneak Waiting Sorrow over here? It's more... I get... If he actually brought Waiting Sorrow... By the way, look at how good our planty skimmer looks among all of these bushes and grasses and things. I fucking love that they did a shadow update. Please keep going, Arenanet. Please, anti-aliasing. Seriously, come on. Come on, give me DLAA. Give me DLAA. Oh. You put that in there, and no one's going to think that Guild Wars looks dated ever again in new content. Hey, we had a donation. Thank you for that. Oh, by the way, like 2 parts ago, apparently I missed a donation, and I'm really guilty about that. I can't find it. So listen, if you're the person who donated, please send me a message so that I can respond with some gratitude. Especially if you asked a question or something. I don't know how much you donated or what, but people were telling me in Discord, and that just seems so ungrateful and so rude. I'm really sorry about that. So yeah. Okay, anyway, the Wolf of Roses, 3504, with $5. Thank you for the $5. Guild Wars 2 is your favourite game, but sadly, the lore for both this and the first, I'm kind of lacking in, despite playing since 2014. I think you're very brave to admit that the lore was lacking in the original, and the truth is it was, for large chunks of it, prophecies particularly. A lot of people's love for it is the storytelling quality is just nostalgia, really, you know, and an inaccurate recollection of what it was really like. But they did brilliant to set the stage, and I do think Nightfall's excellent, and I do think Eye of the North is excellent. Those final 2 products they released were really good. And I have no doubt that Zoteka and Utopia would have been good. By the way, speaking of which, This is not Zoteka, or they haven't put a point on it, right? Unless one of these side quests does that. The wide sightlines of this lookout point allow fishers to observe the movement of local sea life, as well as freebooter raiding parties. Isgarin can open portals. The fog wasn't up at this point. Very good. Very true. By the way, slight tangent. I don't like... Okay, I got chills from it, and it was kind of a big feeling moment. When Isgarin said, "This is all for me. This is just a prison to keep me out." That's a big line. That's a big moment. So I kind of liked it. Looking back, I kind of don't like it, though. I much preferred this melancholic sense that they were having to abandon this place because of a looming war. There's a certain sadness to that I really like, and that the defenses were built because of the threat of the Massat. There's a certain scale to that I really like, that feels like it's lost. I know it's both, kind of. But I feel like just saying it's all for Isgarin is sort of to undermine that. I don't know. We have a mastery insight up here. Is this the highest point, perhaps? Oh shit, I'm fucking sky scaling. Sorry guys, the muscle memory is too hard. What would be the highest point? That probably? That rock over there? I'm just going to go with my gut and say that that's the highest point. It looks like there's something on it. Oh no, that's the fireworks event, isn't it? Isn't that whole garden and the fireworks thing? Oh my god, there's a tree on top of it. That's definitely the highest point. Well, unless trees just were getting culled out before. That is whole garden. So let's see.
You've been here for 7 years, but you were born here?
I was. My mom, too. Pop washed up one day and I was born a year later. The village is a couple generations deep, at least. We found records of folks before us, even. Must have starved.
Right, I'm going to run Warhorn and I'm going to run Dagger, because they're two weapons we haven't really seen much of. Actually, I'm going to take Celestial off as well. Oh, wait then. What template am I on? This was supposed to be QOL Catalyst. This was my default for a long time. It's completely broken now. Where's the Zakiros Demolisher set up? There you go. Zakiros Demolisher. Ooh. Alright, I think instead of messing with skins, we're going back to outfits. Is there anything breezy and light, outfit-wise? That's a good one. In a couple of months, we will be dealing with Christmassy, wintry weather, so maybe. Oh, there you go. Let's do the Pirate Captain outfit. That one is fitting. That's very good. I know we wore it actually as a part of the story, but so good. And then, okay, so we're already set up with all of our stats. What I'm going to do is get rid of this spear. And I'm going to equip the... we could do sword. We haven't really... sword's a bit... There's not too much that's interesting there, I think. Let's do dagger. Faster buttons, since we're specialized elements. Actually, we could take specialized elements off. Well, I want to do dagger. Okay, so then I'm going to run Demolisher. So last year, I was really excited to see Demolisher get added to the game. It was a new stat set. As far as I can see, there are no new stat sets this year, are there? I'm not wringing my hands about that. I'm not too upset about that because, again, the RPG is broken, as I've said many times. You know, we already have a billion items, stat combos. None of them are useful. Demolisher is actually useful. So that's why, you know, I'm very, very happy with that. Let's go air just because it's on theme for the other thing. You know, I can't necessarily say that would be true if another random one came in. Okay, so what do we want to do? We could go air attunement as well. We'll stay specialized elements for now. So fresh air is do a lightning strike. Well, no, fresh air is just gain ferocity every time we reattune, which will proc when we do the big otter, so the big zap. So I'll do fresh air. And then we'll do... I like Storm Soul a lot, but on our own and for most enemies, Raging Storm is probably cooler. Let's take one with air as well. That's cool. We'll get super speed spam every time we proc it. Water I'm going to throw away, and I'm going to take... Arcane, I guess. We blind spam with that. We could get a Jade bot and take Bountiful Power. Yeah, let's do Bountiful Power. 2% for every boon on us, and I'm going to use Jade bots to cheese a shit ton of boons. And then let's take the Lesser Arcane Shield. Nice QOL. And then let's take Vigor when we crit. Because we want to upkeep Relic of Rivers, question mark. No, let's do Arcane Restoration. Let's not do the Relic of Rivers this time. Let's do Specialized Elements, Quickness. We would get Fury from our meditation. No, let's heal ourselves with a familiar skill. And then let's change our Relic. Oh, well, we could just stay on Zakiros, actually. So no Alacrity, but we'll use Zakiros. Oh, we had some other people. We had another donation. Einolf became a member. Thank you, Einolf. Dude, I love you guys that are becoming full members on the channel. Please do consider that. But either Patreon or a full member here, you know, you get like that little gold spud icon. It's awesome, right? Eventually that's going to start tearing up more. The Wolf of Roses is back with another 5. Dude, thank you. Clarification, my lore knowledge is lacking because I'm dumb, but I want to learn the lore from both games now. It's not that, though. It's not that you're dumb, right? It's the product's job to teach you in a way that is fun and natural. It's not that you're dumb. You know, if a movie is too complicated that you can't really follow it, and that's not what it was trying to be, that's the movie's fault, not the audience's fault. You know, but if a movie is being vague or undeliberate, or, you know, you're watching something like, fuck, what's that really complicated time travel movie? I was going to say Looper, but it's not Looper. I can't remember what it is. You know, the magic of those movies, if that's the choice and that's the magic, then that's fine. But Guild Wars isn't trying to be that. Guild Wars isn't trying to be impenetrable. Guild Wars is trying to entertain you, and if it's failing to do that because you don't understand the world building, that's on Guild Wars. It's not your fault. But I forgot what I was doing. Fuck. Oh, we're going up to the highest point, hopefully, if that's it.
Dozen years, hardly a handful of newcomers. Now all of a sudden we got 2 groups showing up within weeks of each other.
A lot of people be happy about it, I guess. Kind of feels like the beginning of the end, don't it?
Things are gonna change, that's sure. Careful what you wish for, right?
Oh, it's a meta commentary about Guild Wars 3. Okay, no.
Come sit up and play.
I kind of want to do a review. I kind of want to just list out my quibbles. You know, like the fact that triggering NPC dialogue isn't as reliable in this. You know, small actionable things that they can actually do. Oh, here we go. Through the loop. Ding ding. Feeling loopy. Where does the adventure start? Above. Above even this. How do I get up there then? I did something to get up there before that was not complicated.
I might listen to you. I would.
And you know, just listing out compliments. I like the fact that we weave back in and out of the 2 maps much better in this game. I like the fact that all of the, like, MacGuffin talk is down. I loved Saida and Kanak's interactions, and that they didn't force an opinion onto the commander like they did last year with the Scepter of War. You know, like just little things. I think this worked. More of this. I think this didn't work. Less of this. There's an NPC that teleports you, an astral ward person. Any kind of landmarks for me? It's funny, I did this children hiding thing so many times on the first 2 days, and this is the first time I've seen it in about a week now.
Problem's never going away if we don't take care of the big one. He talks.
If we don't take care of the big one, he talks! So that's a char that doesn't even know about the script. Surely more recent arrivals. You feeling it weird how many Sylvaria in this map? Yeah, like that's a miss. They really messed up the demographics of the whole gardeners. I wouldn't have had any Sylvari here. I would have had like I say, the Norn or the Char, I would have had like literally only one. You know, I would have had a large proportion of one race or the other because it was a boat. Like, there was a boat filled with Norn that made it. So there's a shit ton of Norn here, right? Like, I would do that. This feels a bit...
Even the waters of our own little pool here are never let the surface deceive you. Who knows what secrets lie below?
It's the adventure NPC. I'm aware I'm trying to get to the adventure NPC, but the adventure icon is here, which is a mile up in the sky. Well, hold on, there's another one there. Oh, I see. Flying Fireworks Starting Zone has an icon, and Flying Fireworks has an icon. They're separate, so it is marked. Oh, and I also see it's because it's up by Mayor Osborne, who I haven't been to for ages. No, it's not up by Mayor Osborne. Oh, there's dog treats here. If I bring these to PTM, what will he say? Here we are. Hello. Hello. Let's go. Right, so now there's a tree. And now we want to climb the tree. I don't know what to say. This is pretty high. We did not get a ding of any kind. Something is higher than this. I'm going to use the sky scale here to actually perch in the tree. And then I'm going to griffin. To scout. What do we think? Maybe that rock? Pretty high. That rock over there is pretty high. That tree over there is pretty high. Oh, look at the views, guys. Look at this. Cool. Oh, no, wait. I don't want to do it on this now. There's two Sylvari on a beach that have nice dialogue. Is there really? Okay, are these orbs collectible to keep me in the air? No, we don't have the leap.
There's the power.
Like, how would I get up that on a skimmer?
Let the storms rage.
I mean, it feels like you can climb this. Oh, that's an invisible wall. Alright, as far as I know, the meta is in 10 minutes. Okay, it is. Look how quick that time passes. It's crazy. Look how fucking far... seriously, I sit down and play this game. We just talk a little bit about lore. What have we done here? We toured the home instance and we read a couple of messages. That's it. I mean, am I labouring the point that much on every little discussion? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. I don't want to know the answer to that. I already know the answer to that. Yeah, I don't know about the highest point. It's crazy. I haven't got a sausage. So what do we got? We got a POI up here I'll grab. And then the other objectives are to the south. So we can finish this map. And then we can head over to the second map. Oh, I'm not, like, going fast. Clown rules has a party join request. Yeah, I will throw a squad up. And guys, I don't know anything about the meta. I don't know if it's hard. I don't know anything. But I will have a dedicated map. I am on EU. I appreciate it's a little bit late at night for EU people. We are streaming in the evening. But if you'd like to join, you'll be able to type /squad join list. In fact, I'll open that up now. I will put it on AFG as well.
There's the power.
Starry Grotto Skimaway. Now, I've never been in this Skimaway, so there's probably cool grottos and shit down there. which I want to explore, but we're not going to have time. There's not enough time. Right, I'm going to go to that vista now. I would usually say no, but we did talk about the Ascension timeline for a long time. Yeah, we did, but I think it's justified. I am actually fine with what I'm doing. I think it's worth talking about for a while. It's worth having the long conversation. The tighter the knot is, the more, you know, it takes to unravel it. First part of the meta scale's a little weird. According to a commander I ran with, if one of the things is lagging behind, it probably has too many people on it. Oh, that's curious. Right, we don't want to be in the caves, I'm pretty sure. I think we want to be up. And if we don't, then we can always climb down later. There's still time for a jumping puzzle. The bird jumping puzzle. Oh my god, there's a whole jumping puzzle I haven't played yet. Ooh! I think in terms of raw content, if you're getting the achievements and you're doing the stuff, these are perfectly satisfying, these mini X packs. They're perfectly satisfying. It's the length of the main narrative that I would like to see be a bit more... Oh, what? Okay, Arenanet, this is not the highest place. Oh, the irony. If I just kept doing map comp, I would have got it as a freebie. This is not the highest. Oh, that was the Sylvari dialogue about Morgemoth. You passed them by? Oh, I see. Well, look, we get it. Actually, I would love to hear that in game. I'll keep an eye out for it next time. You wouldn't say it's hard. You find it more interesting than Map 1's. Map 1's meta is not good. I have to say, I've done it a lot of times now, and it's just, it's highly unimpressive. It's like POF level of, like, not great. Very disappointed with that. So the question on my mind now is, what is the so we're going to get 2 raid encounters, and we're going to get a convergence. The convergence presumably will have a variety of bosses in it. What's it all going to be set on, you know? Last year, for as much as we criticised that they reused the Titans over and over, I do like that there were distinct fights for the Titans each time, right? And there were lots of ways to indulge and enjoy them. Uh-oh, this one's in a grotto, it looks like. Oh, maybe a grotto? Or maybe it's just underwater. Before I go down there, let me check that one. Actually, I'm just straight up going to run out of time. I think I'm going to give up with this, guys. We'll do this later. I'm going to run out of time. I don't want to be too rushed. I want to get people in to a map. I want us to, you know, hear the opening dialogue, know where to stand, all of that. So, this is it, everybody. We are doing the second meta. You think this meta boss will be a strike? Well, the raid encounter, then? Won't be called a strike, will it? Right. Okay, so I have a squad up. Again, you can I'm going to put it in live chat for people who are here, since... You can copy-paste that command into your in-game chat box, and you'll just instantly join me. Okay? I'm going to appear online, not offline. I'm going to go to Visions of Eternity, Starlit World, and I'm going to say meta map. And I'm amazed I'm the only one on there. What the fuck? Okay, it's filling very quickly. Alright. Oh yeah, hold on. I'm removing from LFG just so that you guys have a chance to get in. Okay? There's 9 spots. Oh, we got the bug again. It's okay. We can use the hair to... Oh, he sounded so sad when he died there. By the way, it occurs to me we've still barely used the elite. Oh shit. Yeah, the lightning orb is crazy. What a fucking nutso weapon. Oh, I do have a CC from Shock. I have 2 CCs. So do you know what? Oh, I have a... What am I in combat with? I have an idea. The synapses are fuck! Firing. Come on.
There's the power.
Pirate 411111111 as I try to use skills. Pirate Queen. 25% damage. Haha. I get all my quickness. And 25% modifier. Pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to run Hare's Agility and I'm going to run Elemental Procession just to be on theme with that. And I'm going to use I'm going to use Hare's Agility here as my stun break. Signet of Air. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, let's just do that way. All right, I'm putting it back on LFG now. Meta map. This might be full. I don't know because a lot of people can't get in. I'm going to move myself to sub 2. And then people can join on me. I don't know, guys. Am I the only tag on the map? I am, yeah. I don't see any other tags. Oh, we're being attacked again. I don't know by what. Elemental Procession, go!
Getting healthy.
Yeah, let's see what the hair does. Ready? I'm just going to use the hair.
Rage at maximum.
Pretty cool. Very loud. Queue size of 14. Yeah, of course, because there's actual queuing now. I don't really know where to stand or wait. I don't know where the first dialogue triggers. So I think I'm just going to go get this hero challenge while we wait. Let's go south. Everyone can follow me. Oh, ow.
This place is too quiet. I miss the hum of machines more than I thought I would.
See, they could have made the combat mount on the skimmer another mastery too. Oh, I got the mastery point. Speaking of masteries, let's do this. Natural Abundance. Gain bonus rewards when you complete events inside Castor and Renown Heart areas. Castor and Champions, their Met events, and World Boss events all award bonus chests. And you can get up to 20 bonus chests every day. There's a reward boosting mastery there, and there's another one at the end of the other track. If you guys remember last year, they did that too. But I think it was at the only at the end of one mastery track. And it felt a bit odd, like they were forcing you to do, realistically, if you wanted to play optimally, to do one mastery track rather than the other.
The inquest will focus their digging around here. Any idea why?
Initial surveys mark this as a high-priority dig site due to the presence of anomalous signals. That's all the data available, however.
Anomalous signals should really serve as a warning, not an invitation.
Whatever they're digging for, we're going to stop them. Let's get to it.
All right, let's go. We ran out of time. That hero challenge looks like it's under the tree. Is that where the story instance was? You can actually get in there in the open world? It's pretty interesting. So the Inquest have been digging around here. Time before allies launch their attack on the Inquest. Funny, Isgarin is a part of this meta, isn't he? But he's not even speaking yet. So I believe this is the reward room. And Kerry noticed something quite funny. If you just grind right up against the wall, like, I don't have first person available, but you can just see through it. So I don't know. We'll have a little peek in there. I heard from you guys there's lots of lore at the end of this, so that'll be fun to see. All right, there you go. So we got our squad UI. I don't need to actually put people in squads, do I? This master is responsible for a new 60 gold per hour farm. Oh, it was in front of me on the ground and I just didn't spot it? Oh, okay. A 60 gold per hour farm? Like last year's Leviathan farm?
There's so much
Rage
wild
at
magic
maximum.
here, and it's so closely entwined with the wildlife as well. I need to get samples for closer study before they're diluted
Armor
by
enhanced.
our presence here. I'd appreciate any amount you could gather. Your skimmer should be outfitted for it now.
The downside to this is we're not wearing the new equipment each new map. Remember our Path of Fire playthrough? Where each new map we wore the gear set that was on it. But there are some cool gear sets in here, but they're all prestige priced. So for a start LP, we can't really do it. Okay, sorry, I'm being whispered. This meta doesn't have Isgarin. The one with Isgarin is an event chain. Oh, so we'll do that later. Okay. Come directly west. Ritlock and Canuck are here. I would love to, but I can't stand still for half a second without being attacked. So now I can't waypoint. I'm not going to be able to... Well, I have to kill this as well.
Rage.
Right, come directly west of this. Oh, yeah, I see. I see the meta icon there. Okay. What are people saying? It's full. Queue of 14. 3 subs should do it. 3 east. Oh, right. We should split into 3. There's 3 lanes, so 3 subs. So should I just move people? So I'm not really commanding.
Best for you to wait here, Zeke. The battlefield is much too dangerous.
There we go. That looks about even. That one doesn't have players. So, is it east, west, south? 1. Okay. 1 west, 2 mid, 3 east. Like that? S'il vous plaît. There is no west. Well, what is it then? East, mid, and... What? Okay, lol. West should be north. Great, and who goes north and south? Okay. 1... okay, what? Someone called 3 east. Okay, 1 north, 2 east, 3 south. There we go. What about that? There you go. Nailed it. You want people to flow based on lanes. Okay, so so are there 3 daughters? I'm with Ritlock. Okay, I got it, yeah. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 3, 2. Something like that is what we're doing. Please stay at your location to not overscale it. Time before allies launch their attack. Ooh, here we go.
Let's split up and assault all 3 locations at once. We won't give them any time to consolidate their forces.
I'm beginning to think your experience with this sort of thing.
He is indeed. Another one from the Wolf of Roses. Thank you. Law let down to side. Thanks for inspiring people to play this gem of a game, and I hope you continue to do for a long time to come. Me too, and I want to. So thank you very much. That's really generous.
There's the power.
Ah, a little bit more of Seb. That's good.
Brace yourself. I chose you.
If Seb is physically here in this, then I'll think that's pretty good, actually. That'll forgive some of my misgivings. Okay, what do? We hit the excavator. This build is not good, by the way. Like, at all.
Let's get to it.
Go. Pear. Go banana. So we're staying in this blue pizza slice. That's a new telegraph. It's being shielded by golems, the elite SCRVs. Can we do something to pull them all in, maybe? It's okay, Liz. I know you're confused, but we're still here. Music sounds good. Guys, I got to turn it down. I got to turn the effects volumes down. So we're getting 30 FPS, by the way, with the culling how I would actually have it set up. Which isn't too impressive, is it?
All together.
Oh, how am I going to save enough money for this new PC next year?
nothing to fear.
It's weird because I'm really excited about an upgrade, but it might not be that good of a one if I can't, you know, actually get the good components. And the market's just going crazy, isn't it? So, I don't know. Bit premature for all that anyway.
All together.
Oh, what a
So now we're going
pleasant
counterclockwise. Recharge. 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 Oh, I got a nice little rhythm going there. So what are these little orbs coming out? This is like being in the Nightmare Fractal, right? Okay, CCs. God, why can I barely hear him over there? Dialogue is maxed out. Hopefully you guys can. But without the compression, it's pretty rough on my end. So I'm getting, like, spun around there. I don't know what it was. Does each thumper have a different mechanic?
You are done.
Thumper. Excavator, sorry. We're not in Season 1 anymore.
I chose you.
I'm hurting.
March on!
There's nothing to fear.
Nobody.
Recharge. Oh, we're getting spun. This is like the mechanic in Decima normal mode, which sadly doesn't come back in the CM and makes me very sad. I love that mechanic. I thought in the CM they'd make that no longer interactive stab, but they just removed it. Fuck, I just double stun broke. Ignore that. Oh, what we need is stability, not stun breaks. Oh! Holy shit, do we go around with it, I guess, instead of trying to fight the wind? Run with the wind?
On your knees. We persevere.
Come here. Chill to the bone. All together.
There's nothing to fear.
Statistically speaking, this is rather rare.
I'm just going to run with it. Recharge that.
Powerful combination.
Oh, that was rough. All our cooldowns were nearly up anyway, and then I did the big one. So we got, like, nothing out of it. Got some donuts, an outer and then an inner one.
Make haste. Shake it off.
Oh, we were going to play with the otter here, to be honest. It's alright, I'm sure we'll have an opportunity to do it again.
Make them flee.
Alright. Also, there doesn't appear to be that much damage coming in, but looking at the squad UI, quite a few people are low. You know, there's a good argument for making Scholar stronger than it is, or just like innate to a lot of classes, you know, like minor traits that are very common. Because it makes healing valid and worthwhile even in low pressure scenarios, you know, keeping people topped up. 10%'s kind of a bit but you know, if it was 15, 20 and you could really trust most builds were exhibiting it. So what happens if we don't stay in the blue ship? Does it become invulnerable? What does this say? Phase shifted. Avoids attacks from outside the designated area. Okay, so if I'm not in blue, it takes 0 damage. Let's just verify that. Yeah, I guess. I'm hitting random trash, but I'm not hitting it. So, oh, God.
Forge the way.
How do I know when the wind's going to stop? Because that one kept going and going and going.
Invigorating.
Imagine fighting from back here. Maybe you'll need a range group sometimes, and they'll have a very different experience from if they're back here. Like, how will the wind feel if I'm like a ranged group? Oh, well, it's dead.
The devices are now fully disabled.
Did we have to sync the kills?
All right, let's regroup in the courtyard and figure out our next steps.
Ooh.
Surely this isn't the end of our surprises for the day.
So this one's more than just a boss, it's an actual chain. That's cool. So I wonder what's next. TY for hero banner.
Their equipment has been wrecked. We still don't know what they were trying to do.
I'm detecting anomalous magical readings in this area.
I should get that
Just
NPC
dig
culling
in
thing.
here. Those devices seem to be trying to draw something out. What?
The readings are getting noticeably larger.
CC ads with break bar only, someone says.
What exactly is that?
Whoa.
Magical
Whoa.
readings bear a similarity to those emitted by the seneschal Keela.
Oh, it's the forest seneschal. Whoa, and it's a totally what? That's so cool. It's a unique enemy. To subdue Gwillian, seneschal of the forest?
Why would the inquest want to summon this?
Incoming! Have a guess. Seb wants to control it.
Never give up! Well, I'm certainly opposed to that plan.
I chose you.
Oh, this is good, man. Oh my god, there's actually a lot of character dialogue from the main cast in here.
It's repositioning.
Dodge! Too early. No, I'm alright. I'd have to do it twice.
Getting
So, random conditions, sequence attacks, transformation magic. What are these floating?
Make haste!
My god, the fucking Zerg chatter is relentless.
Incoming!
I was growing tired of running around. Incoming!
Strength of the pack.
Oh, there's a big delay on that shockwave. That's not normal timing. That's a bit slow, and it's really going to trip me up.
Getting cold. Intent. I can't do this alone. Resolve. Her vigil.
Okay, there's like a bubble it's throwing. There's a bubble orbiting around. So this is just 50 men in the middle.
Never give
Getting good frames here. The bubbles land and pop.
Watch out! Targeting you with something. Wither.
Oh, I've been targeted by something. I've got purple on me. I'm running it away.
I'll take final requests.
I don't know what it is. I've been turned into a bunny. I'm now a bunny. Jump in the orbs to open Gwillian's Defiance bar. Oh, the little orbs or the big orbs? The little orbs, I assume. Oh, it's kind of like Suwani. Ow. Okay, yeah, not the big orbs. Did we all become buddies? I think we all became buddies. Oh, this one's very good. This is very good. Okay, now there's a break bar. And we dodge that harpy attack. Didn't even seem to do anything, but okay. Maybe because we dodged it.
Make haste.
Dodge this.
Wind blast!
Looms the spider wart. Tempting fire.
Wind blast. Firebolt. Firebolt. Firebolt.
Souvenir from Maguma's depths.
Where did it go?
Okay. Whoa!
We appear to be moving, however.
She's raising the ground.
Done yet.
Whoa, people are climbing off? Some people were climbing off. Oh, there's orbs all over the place. Hey, this is cool. This is a bit like what we saw at the Wizard's Tower with the key thing.
Just like the ones in the forest. We need to find the real one.
Oh, it's the Gwildell thing. But at a meta event level? Oh, so they knew it was really good at co-op and they were onto something because they put it on the meta. I'm going to grab the way station here. Illusions disrupted. Oh, and this is cool because it gets all 50 people to spread out. So I see an orb moving over here. It's one of these.
You'll be feeling that one for days.
What about that orb up there? Why did my camera zoom? Ooh, why is the camera zooming in? Okay, we did it. I was thinking the name seemed a lot like the Gwildell, so it's like a big Gwildell. Do you see why I call these like this game's alliance raids? Meta events. They are the equivalent.
At maximum.
They're not quite as captivating because they're not full, you know, like dungeon-esque experiences, but
Sharp blade, sharp
We
knife.
are strong.
they're definitely the analog. Okay, we got a swirling bounty laser force field thing that we want to spin in circles around. Want to dodge the shockwave.
Stay away from the gate. The air, the
Stay away from the gates. It's so cool. It's like a creepy looking bird thing. Whoa! Ah, I want to go into it. I want to see. Okay, it teleported me. Okay, so we just run away. Okay, I gotcha. It's like the Lion's Arch strike mission.
Armor enhanced.
Oh, where like there's a suck or a blow and you're just trying to run against it.
Still perfectly functional.
Your duty lies at my side. Succumb to the storm.
It occurs to me I've got all this for selfish personal quickness that I do not need.
Make them flee.
Because our boon coverage is excellent. You guys are doing amazing.
And that's how amazing I am.
I carry the wind. I'm back.
Never surrender. Incoming.
Soften him up.
Jump through the orbs as a secondary objective. Oh, I'm turning into something. My body's form is slipping under the spell. I'll be turned into their creature. Dodge! Dodge! No, it's not dodgeable. I'm now a bunny. On some orbs. It's a bit weird with the bunny thing, because like I'm a bunny, but I can fly. Orb hopper. Gather 10 out of 10 orbs. Oh yeah, there's probably a shit ton of the achievements I don't have are relating to this. Why am I moving so slow? Alright, there we go. When we run back in, couldn't we do it on like a turtle or something?
Never give up.
Birdie, combine and
There you go, down she goes.
Find their weakness.
What's our time limit? 15 minutes left to fight this. We're halfway done already. That's quite a long timer, isn't it?
Into the breeze. Synchronize.
I detect more Inquest forces arriving below. Perhaps they intend to assist us?
I wouldn't count on it. Best we dispatch them before they can implement their plan.
Oh, PTM. I can't tell you how good it is to have a meta event with like a new enemy. It's like how Norris was really good and satisfying, but the Titans weren't. This is really good and satisfying. It's really weird for me to be pressing CC buttons, even when there's no break bar or anything, but I'm doing it to get Lightning Orb back, so I sort of got no choice, really. I mean, Transmute, Shocking Aura doesn't do anything for me, but... Oh, we're back to this. Shit, am I even in the right place? Where am I? I see that we should be back to our assignments from the start.
Getting
Resistance changes.
Never felt better.
New functions will replace the old.
They're dying fairly synchronized. Our one's dying way quicker. I guess because I brought the Zerg here. So I'm going north. Because Grax is dying too quick, but Plessy is dying slowly.
Hurts, doesn't it?
So, Biomancer Plessy. Oh my fuck, she hurts. Grax, and then a Galvanic Tactician. They've got loads of leeway on the synchronized burn, 30 seconds. This isn't Tyria, where there's mechanics that lock you out of DPS that can line up weirdly. Oh, is it? No, it's not over. We go back, surely.
There's the power.
You've accomplished nothing here. Experimental efforts continue in every field. You dare dream that you've destroyed my work? You've knocked over a single test tube. This changes nothing, says Seb. What? Why can't I hear him? He's bugged. Yeah, it would have fit better, I understand, to have played this. We probably should have skimmered that, but hey. I'm going to wait for that to be over before I land. Because Seb is alive again, right? It would have been nice to do this before the final instance. It just didn't line up, guys, I'm afraid.
March on. Make haste. This is more than enough. Incoming.
My blood getting cold.
I was in some deep trouble there.
Ichabod's finest.
Forged away.
Please.
We persevere.
Hoorah.
Need help here. Stay back.
Never felt better.
Oh, I fucked that up so badly.
Priceless.
Pace yourselves.
Okay, more sucking. So if I stand here... always forget when I actually have a tag. People are probably actually looking at it and really feeling hideous about my positioning. Even with super speed, we can't do too much here.
Never give up.
Okay, transformation again. I feel like it would be cooler if they were different animals each time. And the orb collection changed. Oh, did we interrupt it? No. That terminology is interesting to me. To open the brake bar. Oh, there you go. It's done already. That was quick. But I'm still a bunny. How do I debunny? Oh, you can actually get back really early, I guess.
On your knees. Make them flee.
Oh, if I was the Toad build right now. There you go, it's broken. I majored in pain with a minor in suffering. Oh my god, we're going up again!
Perhaps I could adapt this technique to my own systems.
Really, PTM? What do you mean? You could raise the floor? Wow. Holy shit, we're high up. Draw out Gwillian by breaking the shield of its illusions.
Fall to my role. Need to find the real one.
Or maybe he means hide with the illusory thing. Oh, you... Oh! Oh no, the embarrassment. Where's the commander? Oh! Okay. Oh. Thank you. That didn't happen. It's okay. We're not streaming or anything.
Accelerating.
Oh, I didn't look. Okay, it's over there. It's one of these two. It's one of these. There it was.
At maximum.
We got it. All right, let's skim our way back up. Ooh. So this skill, is that the same? Is that synchronized on both Skyscale and Skimmer? There we go.
Now there's the power.
Last 25%. 8 minutes to go. I feel like if you get a slow group, this is going to be a really long fight.
Find their weakness.
Definitely, I'd only want to do this once per day. This isn't like just going to quickly kill Greer, right? Or quickly take out the Bog Queen. I mean, the Bog Queen's got a little bit to her. Shake it off.
Getting a blast of air.
Heads up.
Pounded it to dust.
Never give up.
Ready for this?
You are done.
Dodge
Find
this.
their weakness.
Chop them in two.
No, bunny.
Make them flee.
Oh, we do actually have it's just like being an orb. I feel like in some ways I'd want to cut my losses with that and just go in the portal and run back. Maybe it's not that good though, actually. Dodge. Shit, I didn't dodge. Does this one have a don't get hit by X mechanic? Because it's a big time investment. That'll feel really nerve-wracking towards the end. So yeah, a seneschal is not a crab. It's a name for anything bound by the will of Sidoni to defend this place.
On guard.
Next, make haste.
Right?
On you to rise again.
Here we go. Here's the end.
Seems we have lulled it back to sleep.
Good enough. It puts a stop to the Inquest's immediate plans, at least.
I am pleased to have been able to assist you.
Now, how do you... Now you see, this is why I always say, a timely complaint solves all problems.
Sharper still.
Counts if you're always complaining.
An interesting premise. this. Perhaps I could create a function that would register a complaint on every cycle.
A man after my own.
Oh, nice. That guy got the coat.
This is most unexpected.
Beginning to think you're a bad luck, Canuck.
Oh my god, we're going down? Whoa. Oh, so this is the treasure room. Oh shit, yeah, there's loads of lore, isn't there? Oh my god, look at all the shit we just got. What the hell? We just got a relic as well. The relic of Castora, I think?
So, thoughts?
What? There's a nearby waypoint that I can connect to, if that would be preferable to waiting. Why is the dialogue so buggy?
I would say that's a vote in favor, my dear Kitty. Let us away then.
There used to be an old bug, which was they would interrupt the dialogue, but you could fix it by having audio quality slider and like put it one down from max or something, right? Right, how long have I got to explore this? Is this going to be like really brutal? Okay, so there's Essentials chest, another one. I've got a Hero's Choice. Am I not allowed to open that? Oh, someone put like a an NPC inside that, so you can't actually open it. Like people are trolling and stuff. Oh, there you go. No, it's really hard. I'm gonna have to find a way to actually click the chest. There you go, got it. And then the central chest. I guess we got that for free already. Right, do you guys have dialogue? Gritlock. It's subdued for now. Seb won't stop trying, but we've brought some time. Indeed, I wonder where the seneschal went. You're going to go looking for it, aren't you, says Canuck. This preoccupation with staring death in the face is not good for your health. Few things are, says the commander. Is that going to be a repeat of the conversation? Canuck, yeah, we can't directly speak to. Then there's the PTM. Greetings, friend. Would you like to be teleported to the nearby waypoint? No, I want to look around, please. Oh, is there a barrier above us so we can't fly out, which means we have as much time as we like? No, yeah, there is. No? No, there's not. I thought it was like a one-way thing. It's just a giant fucking hole in the ground. Okay, I'd like to look around. Okay, I thought there were going to be like doorways off on the side or something. You can go inside the tree now and see her sleep. There's no lore here. The lore is after the Asgaran one. Wow. So wait, so there is nothing down here. But I can go under the tree. Are they going to have dialogue when they leave? The seneschal. How am I supposed to know that it went below the tree? Are there orbs and things? Oh, they kind of are actually, right? Like those, maybe? Right, so
There's so much wild
I'm going
here,
south.
And it's so closely entwined with the wildlife as well.
I want to see her under the tree, but then Asgaran is... They're doing Asgaran? Fuck, I don't know what to do. Fuck! Ah! Oh, we'll see her under the tree another time. I'm going to miss out on this stuff otherwise.
Should be outfitted for it now.
There's a yellow tag now. Oh, this door's open. Oh. So we do get to go in here. Aha! Mastery point. Oh, this is the tree that she's slumbering under. Is that right? It's the tree right by the arena. Okay. See, I wouldn't have called this a tree. I would have called this a door because it doesn't look like a tree.
Earned it.
Oh, a giant nest. I don't see anyone. I see someone sitting on a pile of...
I chose you.
I see someone sitting on that. Oh, is that her? Oh, that's her. I see.
Attack my target.
That's cool. Look at her. Very pretty. Is she a mini? Oh, look, she's got one of the chains on her as well. Yeah. One of Sidoni's chains. Okay. So there was no lore in here. So we do Asgaran now. Yeah, it is a tree on top of that building. Cool. Okay, so does Asgaran start immediately after this? Are people up there doing it right now? It looks like they are. Weird. So there's a big meta with a big world boss, and then there's just an event chain. But I mean, it is technically a meta event chain, obviously. It has the backing and everything. The Basilica vaults are currently sealed with decks. This thing here, I remember we were doing this, and then people said stop. It's a spoiler. The spoiler, I guess, being that Isgaren's around, even though he was right there at the top of the stairs. So defeat the enchanted weapons.
Invigorating.
So Isgaren's going to step in on this, is he?
Make haste.
Still perfectly functional.
Is this one worthy of an otter build?
Yes. Fascinating.
I think I'm going to try it.
Seems to lead south to some kind of storehouse. An exceptionally well hidden one, clearly. I'd love to explore it myself, but I'll leave that.
Here you go. Magi Dwayner. Staff. And then instead of Tempest, the old classic, we're going to play Evoker. Specialized elements.
There's
Otter. Give people boons.
Pretty impressive looking.
Meditations, I guess.
But what need
Oh.
I have for ancient bauble traps? And here of
Ooh.
all places? Now that ain't right. Them trying to do you like this.
It says yellow, and I can't even fucking find. There you go. Yellow.
Don't you worry.
We're gonna get 10 of these in a row.
To help you get out of
There's
there.
nothing to fear.
Dude, that sound effect sounds like a fucking pandemonium sound effect. One more? Three per? Ah, I fucked up. Well, I'm not gonna get 10 in a row now then. Ooh, the purple ones sound cool. Another purple one. I really should have lightning flash on with this. I only have time to get 2, it seems.
I made that look easy.
No hit run. Successfully complete it without getting hit by a single defense orb. I think I did though, didn't I?
Go ahead and take that prize there. I'll be on my way. No need to thank me or anything. We're even.
I don't know. Let's just run some generically useful stuff here. Signet of Water. I guess I'll run a Glyph of Renewal. So look, while we have Otter, we will heal anyone we want when we grant them regen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run... well, the star 5 is regen spam. How can I spam as much regen as possible? Arcane Resurrection's a good choice. These are all good choices, I think. We can cleanse them. Cantrips grant boons, but not to everyone. Always regen, but... yeah, I don't know. Right, what's going on? You see a large door. Enter the door.
Oh, yes. I earned this.
Powered by the same source as these defenses.
There's the power.
Do I really need to connect
Rage
the
at
dots?
maximum. Hurts, doesn't it?
Right, Isgaren was speaking. Why is he here? Where did he come from? I expect a great deal of resistance. When Castora doesn't want you somewhere, it can be quite insistent. This is not unexpected, but it can be turned to our advantage. The doors are powered by the same source as these defenses. Do I really need to connect the dots? So we kill the enemies and we deliver magic, just like the boat thing, just like the end of the story. Okay, go, Water.
A powerful combination.
Forge the way. Dispense with it so we can
Oh,
continue.
what a pleasant surprise.
Oh my god, I'm getting so many pop-ups and rewards and things. I can barely even see what's going on. We're progressing so fast. A champion has spawned now. Okay, let's go hit the champion. Now, the auto was ground target, if I remember. Is there a relic I can do to spam more regen? I feel like I'm missing a piece of the puzzle.
You never saw
Right, here's the giant one.
Blade storm. Make haste.
As long as I can keep that water 5 up, I'll be really excited.
Succumb to the storm.
Armor enhanced.
And we're doing alright with that, actually. It is recharging quick.
I chose you.
There it is again.
Wind blast.
Never give up.
Should put healing stats on. I should run I should run that new relic as well, which is increased healing for low people. Or Carcosa, at least. Lost no longer. Explore the hidden depths of the Lost Basilica. We've explored the hazards. We've cleared the hazards of the Hallowed Archive. Okay. Everyone seems invested in playing this. Are there good rewards? He opens the door.
Oh, I know of a good use for this.
This system has degraded with time. Nevertheless, you need to acquire its power source to continue. I would do so myself, but I suspect my presence would exacerbate the situation.
That's funny. This is open world dialogue where he's talking about that.
Those with a strong distaste for me have a long
Ascended
rich
true at
tradition,
Dragonsfall.
I see why this one's a bit spoily. Spoily? Spoilery. Spoilies. I see why, because he's openly talking about the fact they hate him and the defenses are against him, right? You can kind of, like, not think about it too deeply. By the way, look at this shit. I'm still healing people accidentally because the regen is still on them. We should run Dwayna. I want to run Dwayna. Regeneration is more effective. I love Dwayna. Used to get such ridiculous healing stats in competitive with Dwayna. Like, a lot of it didn't really count. It wasn't, like, real healing because it's, like, tiny ticks that are healing people as they move from engagement to engagement that they would have healed via out-of-combat regen anyway, right? But even still, it's fun.
We are strong.
Okay, so we can... There's low gravity in here. Are there mounts in here? No, there's no mounts. So we have to actually clamber around. Can I do multiple orbs at once? I have cosmic energy. There we go. Simple collect. These are all quite exciting little tombs. I missed a book in the previous room. I assume I can go back and reread them all, right? Please tell me I can. Damn, my stun break healed the fuck out of people there. Oh, it gives me 20% benevolence as well. Just really, really strong regen.
There's the power.
I think I'm...
Very good. Next. Let us proceed.
It's only silver.
What exactly do you expect to find here?
Secrets that are best kept that way.
Yeah, what are we doing exactly? Are we still just looking for...
Unsatisfying answer. What do you know that I don't?
Wayfinder, I have lived for millennia. What I know that you do not could fill libraries. It does. In fact.
It does, in fact.
You are capable of understanding, but we simply lack the centuries necessary to catch you up. Shall we continue?
This is so good. What a brilliantly hateable guy. So there's these spread shot things in here, which I believe there are achievements to break. There was a thing a bit like that in the last patch, where there were like those big purple portals. The abandoned antechamber. Defeat the staff. There are 3 illusory progenitors to destroy.
Destroy the source of them.
Come here.
Unless you enjoy being
All together.
I'm really liking this build right now.
Aha. Now that's a rush.
Because even when I'm fucking up with the Q,
Strength of the pack.
I feel like I've got some nice fun filler to press. And because so much of it is like boon regen anyway. Also, I love this build because, you know, you can maintain regen on more than 4 other players. So you kind of break the 5 target cap.
Now, let us see if we've outpaced our vertically challenged adversaries.
Well, he's extra bitchy in this. And it's funny, the repeatable content where he's going to be bitchy is going to be so much more sticking in people's minds.
Intent, unyielding, resolve.
From the commander's perspective, Idgar is going to have no idea you knew about this temple if you played this earlier. Yeah. Yeah, I can see how getting the timing right for this event is kind of tricky. It feels like it's after you've met him, but before you do the rest of the story. This is like, you know, you do the instance with the 3 tombs. It's like right after that you should do this event. I feel like that's where it's
This
positioned.
chamber has been disturbed, but made to appear untouched. Normally when Inquest miscreants rummage through an astral ward storehouse, it looks... If they felt the need to cover their tracks, I fear they must have found what they were after. I will have the ward collect the rest. If there's anything here that would be useful to you, and now would be the time to abscond with it.
Wait, he successfully unlocked the secrets of the Basilica. Grab what you can before he's sealed it away again. What secrets? What? So we didn't actually learn anything. So you're telling me I've got 3 minutes 30 seconds to interact with all of this? Chests, Isgaran dialogue, and potential lore books. A sewer? A sewer door? 3 minutes! Fucking hell. Alright, we'll start with him then. No, okay, he doesn't say anything. Aviator's memory box, a cursed artifact over there, some water here. You want to bathe in that for a hidden achievement or something? They never did explain what all the cosmic goop is everywhere. What do we see in these? There's like a chest and a diadem. A chest, a big one. Those are the ones you usually can press F and open. A little trophy of some animals. A cursed artifact. It ripples with dreary cursed magic. Fight to break through it free. Fucking hell, we're down to 2 minutes already. Prototype bloodstones. These seem to be an early version of bloodstone. They appear to be highly unstable and some still noticeably pulsing with magic. That's fun. I love that. That's a great idea of something to find. A large Sears storage chest that I can't open because someone dumped a merchant on it. Okay, there we go. Some eggs. Preserved eggs. The eggs within are unlike any you've seen elsewhere, including here on Castora. They seem perfectly preserved, but someone kept them locked away for a reason, and you're left to wonder if it might be better that way. That's fun. Some scrolls in there. Ingredients for preparation. The book inside is labelled Ingredients for Preparation and is a hefty tome with pages visibly worn at the edges. It's unclear if it's a book of recipes or components for rituals. Interesting. We've got like a big Ernie type thing. This is cool. This is definitely a fun little room to go to. What about that book back up in the other area? What about this staircase? Because we came in from there. What about the sewer entrance? I got 1 minute 30 to decide. Yeah, we've never been in here. A reclaimed Lyceum? Do I stay with Isgaran to hear his dialogue as he leaves? Actually, are these just all the rooms? Okay, I got 1 minute 20 to get back, maybe. Look for the blue orbs. Orbs to interact with? Fuck, guys. I don't... Well, there's a blue... No, that's a spread shot. Here's the book that was up here. A weathered scroll. 60 seconds. Ah! It's from Sidoni. We'll have to do that another time. We'll have to do... Next time I'll come back and we will read that in the middle of the event. Ah, you're shitting me. The sewers are more intriguing to me than anything else. I don't know where these blue orbs are. Oh, there's one. One blue orb. Interact.
Did you hear? Sidoni will be hosting some of their friends here. Such a rare honor.
Oh, I should have screenshot it. You're right.
Yes. A keeper tears Alkesh, a dwarven clan leader, Bruna Wailit, and a Jotan astronomer, Sepho the dream spinner. They'll be limited to approved areas with a permanent escort.
Oh. Only see what Sidoni intends for them to see. And then it did end. So we did get that mini cutscene. Jesus Christ. Why? Why only give me 5 minutes for that? They made the same mistake in Secrets of the Obscure, exploring the Wizard's Tower afterwards. You see a large door. Enter the door. Oh! Oh, but then we can't go any further? That's very odd as well. This is the WP nightmare. It is, yeah. The sewers. Were the sewers just going to take me down into the pool, or is it like a whole other area? Look! There's a POI! Oh, man. We'll have to do that again. But that's fine. That's not on like a huge cooldown. So we should all be good. The Sidoni scroll text is in the wiki. The last of these notes on the page, weathered scroll. Okay, I'll grab a screenshot of the wiki. Wiki to the rescue. Since we're in the moment, I will read that one. Let's see, weathered scroll. Weathered scroll. The last... Oh, okay, so the weathered scrolls is the guest dossiers. One for Turs Al-Kish, one for Gruna Waylit, one for Zepho the Dream Spinner. And now this is the final one in that series. We've read all the other ones, so we're all good, guys. We've actually not missed out on anything. So let's reread that. And once again, you guys in chat being legends, helping me out here, giving me the deets. Okay, here we go. Abandoned letter. Azo, I am overseeing a several days long enchantment at the forge. As soon as we start reading, someone's speaking in game there. A several days long enchantment at the forge. So this dictated letter will have to suffice. Yeah, remember there was the amanuensis, or whatever it was. This dictated letter will have to suffice instead of a private conversation. This is written by Sidoni. You inquired if I plan to extend an invitation to any Massar after receiving my short list for the summit. Allow me to clarify. Excellent question. I probably should have wondered the same. Is there going to be a Massar letter? My opposition would see my omission as a pointed slight, as an ungenerous and divisive error in these auspicious times, as great scaled beasts and their ilk, the Elder Dragons, rise from Tyria's birth and threaten the stability of our people and others. I have only ever motioned for caution and restraint regarding the Massar. I am not without empathy. Their tether to Nyos was severed and destroyed, stranding them on a strange and harsh world. You may recall that I approved several of their brightest and most illuminated minds to study at the conservatories in Stellar's Quo under our finest crafters and arcane practitioners. In the same era, they constructed Apavim with some guidance and support, and I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, by the way. I rewatched that all cutscene last night, and were permitted to send emissaries to our more public-facing symposiums to participate in discussion. Simply put, they have made great strides in their relatively short time here. However, they remain ever demanding, even as these ancient dragons stir fresh anxieties for all. They have yet to contribute, yet to make good on our investments. Now they poke and prod at the forgotten for favors as we retract our open hands just a little. I find it rather telling, or at least distasteful on their part. So no. For now, the Massar will not receive an invitation to one of our most sacred outposts. Perhaps in one day my opinion will change. Despite what Isgarin might suggest, I am not immutable. Doyen Sidoni. That is like one of the greatest lore documents in the expansion, isn't it? It's so good. Why is it so good? Because it recenters us and reestablishes different strands of information, puts it there in plain English. They've done that a few times. Very good. This is like demystifying in all the right ways. This is putting it clearly, right?
Sharper still.
If you're still a bit hazy or fuzzy about the Massar and Nyos, boom, look, it's written there in plain English for you. Actually, it's interesting his phrasing, right? Their tether to Nyos was severed?
It's too fragmented to interpret.
So, like, normally they can go to different worlds, but always bounce back to Nyos, but now these ones can't. And look, tethering them on stranding them on a strange and harsh world. Again, they're referring to Stellar's Quo and what those other seers were talking about just now. The ghosts in this room when you press F on the orb. I should have guessed that orb was going to be a cutscene conversation because it's in the same area and last time it was too. But what's really good about this is at the end there, you can see he might not really have a good reason to pull the Massar back. He seems to be being very petty about this. And I like how he's defending himself from being too, what's the word? Stubborn. In all the ways that Isgarin argues the same about himself. But he doesn't really have a good reason, does he? There's not really an excellent why are we holding the Massar back. What is their crime here? That they haven't contributed? So he thinks that they're selfish. Maybe he's right that they haven't, but it does raise a bit of a question mark, doesn't it? Make good on our investments. So the seers didn't help them out of compassion. We're back to that word again, compassion. The seers didn't, it's like a transactional thing. You know, it's this gross, ugly thing. Oh, we invested and they haven't... You know, there's something nasty about that, and it's really good. I love the phrasing. And what's this? This is tantalizing. Now they poke and prod at the Forgotten for favors, as we retract our open hands just a little. So what were they asking the Forgotten? Were they asking the Forgottens for ways off of Tyria? Just as they presumably asked the Seers? Just as they presumably asked the Six and were rejected? And now they're asking the Forgotten? Or is this something about the fact that both the Forgotten and the Massart... Remember, the story is that the Forgotten and the Massart were abandoned. Back on Ember Bay, there's that document which suggests the Massart had no beef with the Forgotten. There was no big war between the Massart and the Forgotten. They were kind of alright. So maybe the Forgotten proved to be nicer collaborators. Do you know what? I love the Forgotten as like the only nice ancient race. The Jotun had all fucked up stuff and ended up infighting and whatever, right? You can blame external factors, as all people like to do. Oh, we're only suffering because of British colonialism hundreds of years ago. We're suffering because of X. You know, nobody like... It's very comforting to blame the outside, right? So, like, you've got all these problems, but the Forgotten were just nice, and what did they get from it? They got fucked. They got pushed back to the Crystal Desert and actually crushed. And there's something very sad and delectable about that to me. Anyway, I find it rather telling, at least, or distasteful on their part. Yeah, that's really good. So much layered in there that's so fun, and it's not convoluted. It's just good, isn't it? What a fantastic little letter. Also, there's the final question. Who is Azo? Who is Azo?
It almost seems to be a map.
Did we hear about them from elsewhere? Forgotten still kept killing Churai's people in the trials. I think we're going to end up talking about Ascension as well more, and like the Forgotten version of Ascension versus Divitum Nivum or whatever. Dividium. Fuck, what is the second word? Divitium. Leave it to the Brits to play colonialism down. The Massart characterization reminds me of how Isgarin described the drive of the Cryptis in the last story instance. A little, yeah. Azo is the Emmanuelist in the other letters who was judging the summit participants. Brilliant, thank you. Oh, it's Cottage actually in-game here. I was just thinking, this guy's character name is given the real good details here, and it's Cottage in-game. I should add you. By the way, I add very few people because my friends list is bugged. So just to be clear, I don't mean that as a slight or an insult. So look, it's starting again now, isn't it? All right, guys, it's 3 hours, 30 minutes. That's about the length of an episode. It's 10:30 at night. I know you guys want to go to bed, so we're gonna leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. There's a lot going on here. Again, drop your comments. I want a good Q&A section on the next part. Next time, join me again. We'll be at our beach house for a bit of Q&A, and we will finish the map comp on these two maps. We will look to get the last bit of lore, see what's going on with those sewers, maybe. And we'll start some of these side stories. We'll start some of these extra adventures and see whether there's any juicy lore to be found there. Thank you, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed as we move into the later phases of this Let's Play. I'm still having a lot of fun. Cheers, guys. Take care. I'll be back with Liz tomorrow. Actually, we could even play other characters now. Oh, we'll play some of the other openings to the story. We'll see what this whole Ritlock Razza thing is. Because I feel like Ritlock is going to be the opening NPC now, funnily enough. If you're a rich list. So we'll see. Have a good evening, guys. It's been fun. Thanks very much for the donations. I'll see you next time.